friends messaging me, kind of, Funmbi, man, give me some tickets, man. And I'm like,
oh, as in they really want to come to that show.
yeah.
And you know that you're not actually looking forward to it.
I can't lie to you, I'm not. I don't really know what I bring to it.
You bring that from Burton at the block. You say every time you've told me stories from these shows, you're like, look, I went there and you either got there and caved and was like, where's South London? Or you've gone there and done yourself, but everyone's refreshed that like, oh, he's coming with the real bars.
Comedy Club is where I made that decision.
Okay.
Because it's still a comedy club.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the car park in Wahala, they're not comedy clubs.
Yeah.
They're showcases. And so I don't have anything for that showcase.
I see what you mean, man. I get it. I
remember, I'm not going to say any names, but a comic was like to me, another comic said to him, just bring out your old bangers and go through it. And he saw that as good advice.
Man. Wow.
He saw that as good advice. Just go for the haymakers.
Yeah, I mean, the other day I was challenging myself that like, yo, I'm almost too proud to say shows that I don't do or won't do, or that I don't do anymore or whatever. But maybe I should be challenging myself to get back out there, get scared again, fail again, and so on. And I was like, nah, man. I don't put the work in, man. It's not about failing again. I'll fail again because I'm trying something new, but I don't want to go back to a place where I just know that this isn't really where I want to end up performing. You see what I'm saying? Like, every so often I get invited to come do come and perform for this local council. Come and perform for this.
When did you get that message?
Pardon?
When did you get the local council message?
I had one before. I got one recently. I saw it in my unread messages, like, you know, in like the draft, people that don't follow you, you don't follow them. I got it in one of those.
Because I got a message about performing for some charity council thing.
Oh, really? Maybe it's the same thing.
Hour of my time. I said, hell no.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah, that was it.
I said, hell no.
Oh, you just told them no? Straight.
Just didn't respond to it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't read it properly.
Why would I give an hour of my time? I don't understand. How do you think comedy works?
Do you know what? Yeah, I think they just assume all of us are just sitting around with like Eddie Murphy's money and
then Eddie Murphy material, maybe.
And then they just kind of like ask us for a favor, and then we're like, oh yeah, sure, anything for the kids. And it's not for the kids.
It's not for the kids. I don't give a damn about kids.
Look, yeah, if you're paid to do your job and your job is to ask someone to come and work for free, I was gonna say.
Oh no! I'm not saying that. Go and ask comics who can afford to work for free. That's what I'm saying.
Even then, though,
when I can afford to work for free, I'll get back. I'll do shows for free.
Who's to determine that?
Yeah,
people will be pocket watching. People will be like, I saw you just did that show. Why didn't you do the show for free? What do you mean? I'm still grinding.
Yeah, it's true. And you know what? When people think people don't understand. There's nothing in this life is free in it. So don't ask me for things that. Even when I asked my friend to read my script the other day, I said I don't mind paying you to do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I understand that you have your time in it.
Bruh,
I'm what I'm saying? And so when you put the money on the table, they feel invested that, okay, I have to do this.
At least give them the opportunity to say,
don't worry about that. Yeah. And even then, I insist. No, please. I don't think you understand.
How many rounds of I insist are you going to do?
No, because honestly, you know what it is? I realize that in when you're trying to do something yourself, people don't take you seriously.
Okay.
They think, yeah, is a response. I'm not a hot chick at the bar. I don't need you to speak to me. You know what I mean? Tell me you're not going to read it.
Yeah.
Because when you do that to me, it leads me on to believe you're going to do this.
Okay.
And that gives me, like a girl, when you sleep with her, gives her the entitlement to say, when are we going out to dinner?
Wow.
Yeah. When you take a girl out, when you were messing around, once you put the dick in, the mood changes. She now says, oh, I've been coming to your house, sneaking in at 11, leaving at 3. When are we going to do the brunch?
Bro, those are very specific times.
I'm just saying, it is. When are we going to go brunch? And then that's when the guy starts sweating, thinking, no, this is not what I want. But bro, the more the levels get in, the more the entitlement is.
Bro, and I think that's a very good point you just raised up, because I think a lot of people play a short-term strategy where they kind of claim like if we don't address it, it will all be fine.
It will be fine, yeah.
But come on, man. We've grown at this point.
Yes.
We kind of know what the deal is.
Yes.
She needs to know what the deal is. You also need to know what the deal is.
Yeah.
So it's either you have that conversation up front.
You gotta have it up front, bro.
But even then, you still have to keep into your mind that people change. Yeah, how many times people have the conversation up front
Do
and
not
then it
say
still
that.
changes along the
You
way?
know why? Because a friend of mine asked me, what happened? What does a woman say when a guy says, I don't want a relationship?
Yeah.
And I say, but you ask yourself, what do you want?
Mm.
If it doesn't coincide with that, you stay clear of it.
Do you know the
But,
problem is? Yeah.
like you said, nigga might change.
Bruh.
And hey, to any women that's listening, do not play the nigga might change game. You have a better chance of winning the lottery. You have
that's
a better
losing
chance.
game.
It's a losing game.
But you know what it is? Do you know what conflicts them when you say something like that? Because that's really logical and obvious, right? But if you say that to a woman and you say, what do I want? What she wants
It's for him to have a relationship with her.
is him
Yeah.
and a relationship. But she'll be like, yeah, but I want him. And so she'll say yes so that she can go ahead with it. Her brain's trying to convince her.
None of them.
To get.
None of them are built like that. None
I
of the
know they're
girls
not
that I've
built like
spoken
that.
to.
But what I'm saying is that the process in their head is that if you ask the question as, well, what do you want? Does it coincide? They'll be like, yeah, I want him. Because they're trying to convince them, they're trying to get there. If you ask, if they were to, like, if it was their friend, for example, and they're trying to, talk their friend out of it, they'll be like, but he doesn't want a relationship.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? It's which part do you focus on?
Yeah.
Out of what do you want?
Yeah.
So that's why most of the time you have to ask yourself, like, not just what do you want, but what's the fullness of everything you want? And does that match up with what he wants? Because it's not just enough for you to want each other. You have to both want serious commitment. You have to both want to live in this country or, to live in the same country. You have to both want kids and so many other things. And too many people are jumping into this because we both want sex or because we both want to make out or we both want to be seen together.
But I just don't understand why you just can't say, I just want to have sex.
What? Why? Who can't say that?
The guys, just be, that guy who said, I just want a relationship, he has not done anything wrong. The only thing he's done wrong is when men say that, they start doing relationships. Well, what women deem to be relationship things.
Yeah.
He called me while he was out with his boys. Okay.
I mean, to be honest,
right.
some of my sisters will find relationship stuff when there's no relationship.
This is me. This is her. Would
you
you
spoke
call
Yoruba to
this
me,
is
you
me.
know?
Would you call a girl that you don't want a relationship with, while your boys are out there saying, I just want to see your face? This is me. Are we smashing?
Hell yeah.
This is her. Yeah, this is me. That's how you keep the pussy wet.
What you mean?
That means that night when I leave the boys, I could say, can I come over? I done lined it up. It's got nothing to do with a relationship. What I'm doing is keeping our arrangement sweet.
I'm telling you.
Oh, if you've got a buff girl who you've sold her the dream of, I don't want a relationship, and she signed the agreement.
Yeah.
Why ruin the bag? If she calls you and says, "Hey, my card needs starting," I'm gonna be there, boo. If she says, "Oh, my card needs starting," hey, I'll help you with the car.
Yeah.
But this is me. No, it doesn't matter what he does for you.
Yeah.
He can always say, "We're not in a relationship."
I know, and this is the thing, and I had to learn this the hard way.
How? You're married?
Of course, I'm talking about before I was married. But like when I started dating, or I don't call it dating, but when I started getting into relationships, like I very quickly realized that there's a difference between like women won't take my words at face value. They just won't. They're gonna take in face value, but they're also gonna add in a whole bunch of other stuff based on what they're feeling, how they perceive the situation. So I can do one of two things. I can continuously play ignorant and be like, well, I said what I said and that's that. And I feel like sometimes you have to do that because you just have to, you can't spend your time trying to figure out what's she thinking about what I said and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you just have to be like, I said what I said and that's that. But there's other times where if you're smart or you're being wise in a situation, you have to anticipate. Even if this girl's been following you up and down, she has been, let's say she was a super fan. Let's say a girl was following you to all your shows, she's constantly promoting your stuff, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, look, I'm quite happy to just be near you. I don't want anything from you and so on. You have to take a step ahead and go, I don't believe this. And whether or not you say that to her or not, you have to go, do you know what? I'm going to have to keep you at arm's length because I know that if you get into my space, you're going to want more. That's for you to decide as a man. You have to figure that out for yourself. Or you can be like, I didn't know. She just said she just wanted to be around. If you play dumb like that, then you're only going to hurt yourself.
I don't understand what you mean though.
I mean, like, basically what I'm saying is that if you know that girls don't take what you say at face value, you can't afford to take what they say at face value.
Okay.
So at some point, you
but
can...
girls do take a lot of what guys say at face value. That's why they have a lot of problems. It's a lot of face value shit.
No, but they don't.
They do.
Well, maybe they take the wrong things at face value.
No, they like you said, they decipher what they want to hear in that.
Yeah,
bullshit.
that's not face value. Face value would be he said he doesn't want a relationship. That means he doesn't want a relationship. But they go, he doesn't want a relationship.
Right.
I think he means he doesn't want a relationship right now. Maybe in like a week's time. Like if I'm around.
By the way, maybe in a week's time. When that week is up, you know what? Sometimes it takes 3 months to do these things. You know
that's what I mean by they don't take things at face value.
Yeah, okay, I hear what you mean.
I'm saying face value is it says it does what it says on the tin.
Right.
And the problem here is
so
that
you're saying
when you're now listening to a woman, you also can't take what she says at face value.
Who listens to women?
Bro, I mean, I didn't want to put it like that, but
Men don't listen to women at all. They don't listen to women. They hear them, but they don't listen to them.
Do you know what it is? Yeah,
you're married, so I can understand. You have to.
When
I say men don't listen to women,
process.
we scheme from what. Yeah. That's why I said I'm not a cute girl at the club. Yeah. And I didn't know how disgusting it felt till the man started doing it to me. Yeah. Just fingering my bum for no reason. You know, you're just tickling your ass.
Man. No, for me, I've always been trying to figure it out, bro. I don't know if you've ever done like the not listening part. I've always listened, but I've been frustrated.
I think that was my problem. I grew up on R&B, so I thought you should listen to your woman. That's what Babyface said. That's what Jodeci and Joe were like. Don't go.
Lied.
I want to listen to you.
I was thinking about that
till I got cheated on. Then I was like, I ain't listening to no woman ever again. What's Snoop out? But as the sun rotates in my game, oh yeah, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. I was on that shit. Hell yeah. You know, I never love a bitch because she don't know shit. I was on that because you're hurt.
Yeah.
But what I came to realize was it's the balance of everything.
Yeah.
Women will tell you. I had women don't let that one walk all over you because they know if women get a roll on you.
Bro, of course.
I watched a Snapped yesterday. It wasn't even a Snapped. I typed in cold case files.
Wow. So you just typed that in. Okay. I
typed in cold. You know what it is?
You put the suspenders in the shirt. You rolled up your sleeves like.
Because you know what the crime
channel. Some cold cases right now.
You know with the crime channel. There's variations of these things.
Yeah, of course.
So sometimes I don't want the case that was solved by the weekend. I want the one that was solved 20 years later.
Okay.
Where the criminal thought he got away with it.
Yeah.
Some DNA piece that was found on the chewing gum wrapper that they didn't see 10 years ago. Yeah. They've now found it. The motherfucker's in Colorado with a new family. Now you got to do 30 years.
Man's always out in Colorado. He's got a middle management job. You know what I'm saying? He wears glasses now.
He wears glasses. Nothing
2
like
kids.
he looks. 2 kids. You're like, damn.
Active in the local Lutheran church.
He's like the local softball
he
coach. And now it's a wrap.
Yo, they always catch whenever they catch him. He always knows it's coming.
Oh, he knows. He knows what time it is.
Like,
and when they show up in court,
Don, what is this? What's happening?
When he shows up
I'll
in
explain
court,
it to you later. But
glasses, respectable. It's like I'm taking my time. I did wrong.
Look, if you live in Middle America, you marry a guy who's very straight laced. That guy was a serial killer in a major city 10 years ago.
Somewhere. Yeah,
he was a serial killer somewhere.
I wanted that narrative. Turns out this month was a Snapped.
Of course.
But so I was expecting cold case.
Yeah.
When the crime happened, the wife sent her husband out to go and get money from an ATM for the kids' lunch money. $60 at 11 o'clock at night. I don't know why he thought. I don't know why he didn't know your wife's about to kill you, dog.
I mean,
I don't know why that didn't register. But when they were telling the story, they were like, she called him because they dress it up at first.
Yeah.
So the mum was like, she's quite dramatic.
Yeah.
She gets upset about most things.
Yeah.
So she called him like 3 or 4 times on the way there. Make sure your door's locked. Make sure your seatbelt. Are you safe? Please be safe. And I'm thinking, in my head, it didn't register. Yeah. If it was a Snapped, my head would have. But because I'm waiting for cold case, we're gonna break this case 30 years later. I'm thinking, why is she? This is me. This sounds a bit weird.
Yeah.
And then he got carjacked at the ATM. I was like, my Snapped mind was like, yo, the wife did it. My cold case file was like, well, we're not gonna find out who did it for another 30 years.
Of course. Yeah.
But then I took like the thing. It wasn't a cold case file. It was a freaking the murder of this guy. So immediately, Ola. The way it's almost like I've watched so many of these.
Bro.
The moment the wife said she was calling hospitals, this is me. This bitch getting the alibi ready already.
Bruh, are you too? That's too on it.
She set her husband up for $400,000 insurance money. They gave her $150. They gave her $100,000 from the Navy, and 250 from. She's one of those people. She's just mad. She spends money. She doesn't really respect money. And her and her new lover, she picked this guy. This guy was soft, Navy guy, deserved better than her. Yeah. But she was kind of exciting.
Okay.
And you know, if you're a guy who, I'm not gonna say doesn't get good girls or attractive girls.
Yeah.
But if you're a guy who you think to yourself, I know my place.
Yeah.
You know, a hot girl is not what I deserve.
Yeah.
And that hot girl
comes
like into your life.
Yeah.
You give her everything.
Easy.
You understand? And he was
mark.
in the Navy.
Yeah.
So he'll get deployments, right?
Yeah.
So while he's overseas, she's over knees.
This brother, yeah. You planned that. You wrote that line before
No,
you
it
got
just came in right now, you know. It just came into my head. Like, while he was overseas, she was over knees.
God,
like, I might think it was word on the street.
You know they have a name for military personnel that bang other people's wives while the husbands away.
That's not nice.
They call them Jody.
No. I'm
Yeah,
not having that. I'm not having that.
Yeah, they call
By
them
the way,
Jody.
white people. Y'all some trash ass motherfuckers.
No, it's that
but
much
know
of a thing.
how to. Remember, I told you they know how to package shit.
Of course, man.
Because all she was banging the block while he was gone.
Yeah,
she used to give her kids Imodium, not Imodium. A sleeping. Do you know those that helps them sleep out so she could go out and party? She would bring guys back to the yard with her friends and try and get a little, sex thing going. But she was 20. She was 17 or 16 when she got pregnant. By 21, her first husband was tired because he was in the Navy as well. By the time he came back, the bills are stacked up, and she was pregnant with the next man's child.
Wow.
Which was the guy she married, and she was the one running the thingy. Then after 8 years, she was like, "I just want the money. This guy is not really useful to me." Sets him up to be killed. One thing I love about.
Can I ask you a question about that? Because
I wasn't in it.
On a previous episode, we spoke about how hard it is to get a decent hitman, right? We're talking about how they always end up calling a guy who's like,
so funny. I was just about to tell you that, but go on.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Go straight ahead,
I was just about to say, what amazes me is when you kill someone, what you should put the effort into is the person killing. That's where the biggest effort should go.
That's where you start hiring work experience.
Like, you start doing real interviews.
Yeah.
Checking their rap sheet. Have you been caught before?
Bruh.
But what they do is they hire the next person.
You can't ask too many people though. That's the
number
problem.
one. Number two, you got the trail is so easy. When you must have read about, okay, if I kill my husband, they're gonna suspect me first. Okay, that's a given.
Yeah.
How do I make sure I avert suspicion?
Yeah.
That's your job. That she had the right alibi. She was at home. But what's the first thing police are gonna do? Your husband's dead, and we have no reason why anyone would want to kill your husband. They're gonna look at you, right?
Of course.
What's the first thing they're looking for? Are you having an affair?
Yeah.
Was there an affair?
Yeah.
That's the first thing, Ola. Affair.
Yeah.
Because they know affair leads to bullshit.
Of course.
Boom. How do they find the affairs? They talk to the friends. So
my goodness.
Next thing, your grieving wife, crying. Everyone's at the church. Yeah. Soon as you leave, the police come around. One of her friends called the police. That's where they got their break. And said, "I know who killed him. You should look into this guy." They looked into the guy she was having an affair with. He was just as crazy as her. She used to tell people she grew up in the Ukraine. She'd never been to the Ukraine. She was just her thing. And so he was another kind of imposter. His MySpace account said he was a big successful film studio, but he was living with his mum in a trailer and he sold papers with her at night. So again,
I stay in the trailer, I'm always set ready.
I'm in the trailer.
I'm in the trailer
again,
right
white people, you just have to package shit. Anyway, she and him, are having an affair. Husband's overseas. They arranged to have him killed.
Yeah.
But the police don't know how they did it.
Okay.
She took the insurance money, took him in.
That's the second thing you look for anyway. Follow the money.
But here's the thing.
And if somebody benefits,
she got the insurance money.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You do benefit from your husband dying.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you killed him.
Yeah.
She went on holiday with the insurance money and blew through it.
No, but here's the other thing is, wow.
Right.
Wow. But
suspicious behavior, but doesn't mean you killed him.
So you say she got like 400K worth.
She didn't get 400K. She was supposed to get 400K.
But
the Navy gave her 100.
So,
which she blew with her boyfriend on holiday.
Because the real flag is usually if somebody's overinsured. So did that match?
He wasn't overinsured. He was 400K for his life insurance, which was fine. It's 400K.
But someone who makes Okay,
He's in the
I'll
Navy,
let that go. I'll let that slide. Yeah.
But even if you overinsure the person, you still need to prove that they killed them.
Yeah, but it definitely flags suspicion.
It was they had that in the pocket. This is the MO. They knew that was the MO.
Yeah.
But how do you get to the MO?
Okay.
That's what they were trying to get to.
Yeah.
Right? So she's blown $100,000 with her partner. That she's hounding the insurance company, but the police told them to freeze the money, to put a hold on it before we clear her, and they refused to clear her because they were working hard to try and get the evidence. Lo and behold, her boyfriend had been arrested previously because they said the affair was after the death. They started seeing each other after the death. And so they were trying to get this timeline sorted. And this is the thing about police. I think it's God. I think God just likes the puzzle. So I'm going to throw them a little clue, see if they roll with that.
Go ahead. Take a little piece of evidence. See what you can do
the
with
way
this.
it comes together is nuts.
Yeah.
He got arrested for assault on his girlfriend.
Okay.
And spent like 3-4 days in jail.
Okay.
But eventually the charges got dropped. However, they knew phone conversations in jail are recorded.
No.
You know when you put your head back like, oh, I love this game.
Oh, I love this
game. So I was like, oh shit.
Okay.
So they said we're gonna pull the phone records.
Okay.
Lo and behold, they pulled the phone records. He was calling Mrs. And she's already started to tell him how that thing's gonna be taken care of soon. Don't say
on the jail call.
On the jail call, don't talk about it because these phones are these calls are recorded. But there was enough vague to understand that they're planning something.
Yeah.
And then she said, I've spoken to your friend. They're like, they need to find out who this friend is. Yeah, right? She said, I've been speaking to your friend who saw that. But she didn't say his name.
Okay.
But she said, I've spoken to your friend David. I said, who, David? They need to find out who David was, right? So what did they do? Obviously, you go to a judge. You show them the calls. Yeah. There's enough probable cause there for a warrant on her phone calls.
Of course.
Boom, they subpoena her phone calls. You come through the phone calls. You find out the number that repeats itself. There was one from out of town, believed to belong to a gentleman or a piece of shit named David Rundle, who he met her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's so much of a bum. He offers himself to experimental treatment.
Okay.
For quick cash because he just doesn't want to work.
Yeah.
That's how he met the other guy.
Okay.
And the other guy was a sniper or sharpshooter in the army. So post-trauma or whatever. And he enlists him to come and kill dude. Boom. They've put this together. But they still need evidence.
Yeah.
They drive over to where David is and arrest him. In the search of his car. I mean, the police must have been like, I don't even want to do this anymore. You know, if I can just walk into your car, pull out a map, and there's a photo of the guy you're supposed to kill, and the writings on the back of the map. This is almost.
Oh my goodness.
This is almost 8 months after he died.
You still got the.
You still got the shit, man. Like, what the hell is this?
Bro, I still got that piece of paper saying shoot man with the address on it.
And also the police, when there's a trio of people you're trying to get, you got to find the weak link.
Of course.
The weak link was the boyfriend.
Okay.
Remember they came over to him with the jail phone calls and all of that. He started breaking. He said, "Yeah, you know, we did have an affair, but you know, doesn't mean we killed." The panic. They're like, okay, you know, we just wanted to let you know that you know, come clean. But they knew we just now monitor the phone calls. I don't know how people so predictable.
They run straight to go.
Oh my goodness! The police leave this way. He's already on the payphone, and they've got them all trying to corroborate and start their stories on the phone tap. They've just got them putting. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. So eventually, they had enough. Arrested the first guy. Arrested the boyfriend. For some reason, they didn't want to arrest the woman by herself, so they told him to call her and say, "You're at the police station and you're about to tell it all." She was like, no, don't do that. She runs to the police and she try and pick him up, and they arrest her there and then.
They damn good at like they cut to the police station.
That must have hurt though. Wow. But when she got into the evidence room, you know, the interview, she started singing.
Of course, she was
putting on the boyfriend. She got 4 life sentences. The boyfriend got a life sentence, and the shooter got death. But he's trying to appeal his conviction because he said he had brain damage at the time.
PTSD and that.
So he'll get a life sentence. I think it's fair for him to get a life sentence.
But how'd she get 4 lives?
Because she's the mastermind, and they just want to, they throw mad charges at you.
Okay.
Just in case they can overturn one. You got 3 life sentences to fight. So you're probably not going to fight it. There was one I watched with a black woman, which kind of upset me because, you don't want to see black people doing bad, but she did fuck up.
But first of all, hold on a second. How is it that they get to call all the women killers snapped. They didn't snap. Maybe they were just evil. Maybe they didn't snap. Like, they was making it sound like it was like they were all good. They were just driving and getting their hair done. And then they snapped.
It's not in a woman's nature to be as violent. Wait, let me put it like this. We've been told women are not violent. We've been told it's not in a woman's nature to do so and so. And so it only makes sense that these women have been pushed to these things. But a lot of these cases, they weren't pushed.
They're not pushed.
They were just snap. As low.
That woman didn't snap. She was always a narcissist.
That woman was not snapped. She was just crazy. She was evil. She wasn't snapped. She was just pure evil.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Funny enough, I just found the show Castle. It's a fictionalized one, but they solve a mystery every episode kind of thing. So I love those kind of shows. And it's based on, like, he's a crime writer and he's basically following this police officer around so he can research. But basically, because he's written all these crimes, he kind of knows criminal behavior and he actually helps solve these mysteries and stuff. This one, they have a serial killer and they deduce, like, halfway through the episode that it's a woman.
Okay.
And actually, no, was it? No, this might have been Criminal Minds. This might be, I think this was Criminal Minds or something. Criminal Minds is about profiling. So yeah, I watched them both. So yeah, I was watching that one, and in this one, the serial killer is a woman. Now, obviously, you know that's very rare. Like, the serial killers are usually men, 25 to 30, 45, whatever, a white guy, no one notices him, blah, blah, blah. But they have all these different, like, strict profiles. They figure out from the profile that it's a woman doing this, right? Then what's the backstory? The backstory is she goes to this particular bar. She will see a group of guys out on a stag do, whatever it is. She lures one of them away, and then she will like seduce them, kind of thing, and then like slice their neck and kill them. The way they managed to find it out is that she had actually been sexually assaulted at that bar way back when, and this was in New Orleans. So they had there was a guy who actually figured this out, but he died in Hurricane Katrina. And he'd only left one clue. He scratched something on the wall.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
He scratched the name of the bar where it happened onto the wall because he'd figured it out that's where that bar was key. That if you search that bar, you'd be able to figure out why these crimes are happening, why these guys just keep dying and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, cut long story short, it was like, yeah, they go deep into the whole profile of what makes a woman a serial killer. And in at the root of it was a case of like, something had happened to her, and so therefore she was like resolving it and sort of like coming to terms with it by taking on. She sympathized with Jack the Ripper, and she was taking elements of his MO and using that to go out and kill. And in that situation, I get when they say someone is snapped, right? Because that's some kind of trauma that's happened to you and so on. But how many killers are there that have some kind of trauma? All these guys that kill on the ends, they have some sort of trauma. Everyone has a trauma. Everybody is snapped to a certain extent.
I mean, I guess, yeah, because I watched one where it was a woman who stabbed and killed, she shot another woman.
Yeah.
Who was in a relationship with a guy she liked. And she was a teacher.
Mad.
That one was just, that wasn't snapped. That was like, are you fucking crazy? But,
you know that in France they have a whole crime of passion category. For like if you come into the house and you find like someone sleeping with your wife and you kill him right there and then, it can go under this crimes of passion.
Why do people do that though? You come into your house, you find someone sleeping with you. Why don't you just kill your wife?
I don't understand.
I'll excuse the guy. Hey, sorry for that. I'm home now. Hey, sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna kill this bitch, but you go ahead and leave.
You come in like Kanye on the MTV Awards, like the VMAs.
I'm gonna let
you finish.
Yeah,
but I just want to say,
I've got no issue with this guy.
I get that
because he didn't disrespect me. She did.
Yeah, I mean that's the logical thing to do, right? But I think there's some kind of like biological imperative.
What if you came home and you see the guy smashing your wife, you try and find he beats you up?
That's the baddest.
Right.
Imagine he beats you up, he's still naked.
Butt naked.
Just
slapping you around the house. You got to kill yourself after that.
Bro, you have to die.
You can't come back after that.
No, you can't.
You can't.
You can't
you
get
go to the bar. What happened,
up.
man? You know, my wife was in bed with a man. You tear that ass up? Nah, man. You fucked me up. You're like, whoa.
And then he finished as well?
Nah, fam. And then he then your wife is in the bed like, this is why I'm cheating. You can't even beat my cheater up, like,
bruh. To be honest though, like if you sleep with a man's wife and then beat him up, like even you have to be a new level of.
But he has a right to defend himself.
No, yeah. If you defend yourself, like, hey, I didn't know, and like the guy's trying
even
to hit
if I
you,
did
like,
know.
But why would you then like weigh him in? Like you wouldn't weigh a man in.
Of course you would.
weigh a man in after beating his wife.
You know what rage happens when if you catch your wife sleeping with a man, you have rage in you.
Of
so
course.
if you're defending yourself, you better weigh him in. If you know you can, otherwise he'll kill you.
Bro, you're a scumbag. Nah,
it's true,
no.
Though. You gotta weigh him in.
Nah, if let's say
when I say weigh him in, like you calm, yeah, son him, which is even worse. I think he would prefer beating more than a son. You calm him down with the headlock. What?
You can't put him in the
head. You cool? You cool? Okay,
then. The headlock while you butt naked.
And then we're gonna talk like men. That's gonna kill you.
Are we gonna be mature adults?
Yeah. Are we gonna be adults on this? That's gonna hurt more. So you'd rather take a shatonga in knowing that you went all out. But my point is, and everything though, if we take it back to the serious note, in terms of because women do that as well. They catch a girl with their man.
Yeah.
They really at the girl. I remember a friend of mine when I was in college. It was like, come and go Woburn Forest. He said, what for? He said, some guy's been looking at my girl. And I was like, so what do you want us to do? And show him that, that's not on. This is me. You want us to go from Tottenham to Woburn Forest to go and approach man to say you're looking at my girl. When he tells you to go suck your mum or whatever, bravado he's going to put on his stance, then what do we do? So then we do what happens? This is me. You're cheating on your girl. Like, I'm not going to risk anything for someone you're cheating on.
There's no way.
And thank God, I don't know what it was. I feel like maybe because I grew up in Nigeria, I just had the foresight to understand this here is some bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm about to get stabbed over something I don't care about. You're cheating on your girl, but you want me to go and defend her honor.
I love how you held that information back.
Because that's why I had to. Remember, I didn't want to. You don't throw that in your friend's face immediately. I tried to give him other ways out. Yeah, I wanted to give him other exits to see how this is not sensible. But you wanted us to now go and beat someone up who was probably telling your girl, you could get better.
Do you know what's mad though? Is how do you maintain that level of anger from Tottenham to Woburn Forest? It's
not that far to be fair.
Bro, if I have to go up the road angry, bro, by the time I get out my door, I'm
up the road angry.
Once that breeze hits me, I'm like, do you know what? Yeah,
I came out of Ezekiel's in Peckham at 4 or 5 in the morning. A beef had kicked off in the club with some youths.
Yeah.
By the time we came out, the crew was outside with knives. This is me. Y'all weren't even in the club. Who called you, man? And where did you come from?
How you hating from outside the club? You can't even get in.
My only confusion was, were you not sleeping at this time? Is there a stamp? Hello? Okay, I'll send everybody through.
No, but that's usually how it be though.
Yeah, it must
Certain man be on standby for beef.
They were already outside. Me, I just told my sister, this way. And we just left because I knew it was about to pop off with the goons. That's the one thing people don't, that's another thing they don't talk about, the knife crime and the stabbings.
Yeah.
We've been in the clubs where it happens. They don't realize that if you can actually leave.
Hey, you're a douchebag.
And the goons know you ain't got nothing to do with it. It's cool, They don't tell that side of the story. They make it seem like it's all bleak.
What, do you just not make eye contact? So
yeah, just don't make eye contact. Don't ask questions. Tiptoe. They like that stuff. It's like the dude that shot. You know what? It's funny because I'm such a cynic and I'm over the world. The guy in Plymouth, for instance, who shot up the whole ends.
We go there. Okay.
Here's the thing. Here's the beautiful thing, yeah? Do you think this is what made me laugh? Facebook. Why are they not calling him a terrorist? Why are they calling him someone that was disturbed and da-da-da-da-da? And I just said to myself, what do you want? What do you guys really, really want? This guy has killed a 3-year-old girl and you're worried about the right headline.
Yeah.
Where are we in this world, really and truly? I was in Leicester Square during my birthday at the store, in between shows.
Of course.
Right? And I was just by the square, where the cinema is, on my phone, just trying to kill time.
The Willy Bobos and the whatnots.
Right. And there was a canopy that said, ask us about Islam. I think it said the religion of peace.
Okay, yeah, I've seen them.
And a fight broke out under it. All I could do, Ola, was look at the sign at the top that said, ask us about Islam.
No
and
way.
I said, y'all ain't doing a real good advert for Islam
with
right
a recorder on that one.
But they were fighting in Leicester Square.
Who was fighting?
2-1.
The Muslim brothers?
Yeah. But it was like an honor fighting. I think there was a disagreement because nobody was panicking. It was one of them ones where he didn't want to beat him up, but he wanted to son him a bit. But the black kid wasn't having it. But here's what really, really
Is it like? Was it like? Oh, you misused the name of Allah, so we have to.
I don't know. They were both
Teach you a
Muslims.
lesson.
Clearly, it was a fallout disagreement that went into a fight,
Wow.
which didn't need to be. But the kid was young, and he was not like he was a rah kid. The police didn't come until after, but nobody kind of was like, "Oh my God, run away," kind of thing.
Yeah.
But what amazed me was everybody pulled their phone out and started filming, and I just said, "This was done, man. This
that
is my
content
sister."
right
But
there.
for me, they might, this day you might need evidence. This is me. That was all going on Snapchat and
was
WhatsApp
all for
videos and Insta and
All they want to see is the label where it says the religion of peace and 2-man fighting.
yeah.
That's what they want to
No,
see.
I don't think anyone was as witty as I was in that thing.
Oh yeah, because you're a comedian.
I'm a comedian. I was the only person that
You were
saw
seeing the irony.
this is
of
not
it.
a good look for the. They had to
For
take
the
the whole.
message.
The fight finished. They took the whole thing down. You can't attract business no more.
You can't break up the fight and be like, hey.
Hey, so Muhammad said, it's not gonna work. So that was. Hey, by the way, if you as a creative, which is what we are, these things be falling into your lap sometimes.
I'm telling you, bro.
Because I was literally like this. Oh hell no, they're not fighting.
Bruh.
And you know what? The hackney in me, I wasn't even scared. I kind of sat down. I wasn't even saying, yo, bro. I said this to me, yo, bro. This is not a good look.
Yeah.
In the middle of Leicester Square. Once the feds come, everyone's getting moved to.
Yeah, man. I mean, to be honest, I've had a couple moments like that on the way to gigs where, like, I see something that no one else would ever see anything with it. But, like, in my head, I'm like, oh, this is a joke right here. And one time I was walking past, on Piccadilly, if you're walking towards Piccadilly Circus from, like, Green Park or whatever, there's this big shop that sells, like, camping gear.
Okay.
Homeless dude outside in a sleeping bag. I was like,
It's funny, man. I didn't even see that coming. I was thinking, what could you do with the camping gear?
With the camping, I said, there's a homeless dude outside.
Do you think he was drawn to it because of that? You think he picked that section?
Bro, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't know.
It.
I said they should hire him. Like, because if anybody knows a good sleeping bag, it's my guy. I would have said, is this one warm? Is this good?
That's not good. Imagine you go in there and you're like, you know what? I don't trust you.
I don't trust
you.
your
Go outside.
judgment.
Excuse me, sir.
What's the model you use?
You be sleeping rough these days. But first of all, just because you're homeless doesn't mean you have a good sleeping gear, though.
It doesn't. I know.
But there's levels to it.
It was a joke.
I think there's levels to it.
Of course, maybe they look at each other like, you got the Camp Master 6000. Alright, I see where you at. You need to get your begging game up.
I tried to write a joke around that saying, do you think homeless people in like Westminster and Green Park look down on homeless people and like bagging them? like there's a class system in the homeless world.
Are you begging in Peckham? Huh?
You begging in Peckham still?
All right, man. Get your weight up, man. Get your weight up.
Need to work harder in life, man.
I'm sure they definitely like band together, form a little crew, and like take over a corner. I'm sure of that because.
Well, you think there's territorial like beef in the homeless world?
There must be.
Wow.
There must be because if not, they would all be like there's clearly like primetime slots right by the ATM.
Primetime slots.
Right by between the ATM and the supermarket entrance.
To any homeless people listening, the ATM is the worst spot,
bruh.
If you're homeless, okay, because it just looks too desperate.
The ATM hustle lasted a while, but I think everyone felt unsafe about it, so they started clearing them away.
Well, here's the thing, though: how much can you give from an ATM?
What the whole point is that if they've seen if you just
go on, I'm listening.
They've watched you take out the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they know you have cash on
what have they watched you take out?
Cash.
No. What have they watched you take out?
Your money, your cash.
Say again.
Your money, of course.
Your money.
Of course.
So what I do with my money is none of your business.
Of course it is.
Okay.
But the whole point is that they're leveraging the guilt of the fact that you can't say, I ain't got it on me. I ain't got nothing on me.
Do you say that? You have that guilt? You have that guilt?
And I've had that before.
What you know about to put it in your pocket as you look at him in the eye and stroll off?
And stroll off, like, I ain't got it. I ain't got it, man.
No, look, don't ask.
I'm gonna change on me.
Because I think it's, first of all, the begging code of conduct is, do you have any spare change?
Yeah.
Not, are you pulling out 20s from the ATM?
No, a guy approached me bold, like, would you mind taking out 20?
Hey, he was about to rob you, bro.
No. It was calm. Now, I went there because I actually wanted to give him money, but I didn't have money on me. And I wanted to give him a tenner. He asked me for 20. No, first of all, no. Could you take out anything would work? And I was like, do you know what? Actually, I want to get you a tenner. Just wait right here. And I went
What's
to
the most you're giving to a homeless person?
The most?
Or to not even a homeless, just someone that's begged.
Probably 10 or 20, something like that. I mean, apart from apart from a friend or something like that. But if it's just a stranger asking me for money, like 10 or 20 quid. Most of the time
it's minimum wage for me.
Most of the time it's a £1 coin. I keep £1 coins on me, but
20p's.
there's 1 or 2 times. I think like on my birthday, I gave away a 5 or a 10 or something like that because I was like, "This is my birthday. I want to go out and celebrate." Like,
don't do it.
No, but I wanted to put something out there. Like,
So
you know what? Let me help somebody.
If you give him 100, I'd be more impressed.
I'm not trying to impress you, bro.
Okay,
I'm trying to say
you know
that.
What? And I respect that. I respect that.
I wanted to
because more
give.
time I'm trying to impress people.
Nah,
it don't matter what I
nah.
give to this motherfucker, innit?
Nah, I wanted to
one day I want to
give
give a homeless guy £100.
Who did that?
One day I want to do that.
Yeah, one day. Why not?
You know why?
Why not?
Because I've wasted £100 anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give it to him because I know he's gonna waste it. But imagine if I gave that person £100 and he became the next Bezos. See, now I was just £100 short from being able to gather the funds to do what I'm supposed to do. But here's the funny thing: I was in Dalston the other day. I was coming to the pod. I forgot to tell this story on the pod.
Yeah.
I was in Dalston. I had a chicken McDonald's before I came. I was hungry.
Why do people describe these meals as cheeky, bruv? It was just trash food, bro. You have to
No, when I say
like,
cheeky McDonald's, I already had one before. No, I'm joking. I'm just saying. When I say cheeky, because I was running late.
Okay. That's cheeky, bro. That's definitely cheeky.
I was running late.
I always wondered what that cheeky kebab is.
Right. I was running late, and instead of me to eat this burger on the way, I sat down in and said, "Listen, I ain't about to run." And I literally said, "Man, fuck Ola, man."
Yeah,
that's why I said it was cheeky.
That's cheeky. That's a cheeky.
And nothing to do with the McDonald's. I will claim McDonald's all day.
Okay.
The cheeky part was, you're running late, bro.
Okay, now it's making sense.
So I sat down, I was eating. There was 2 Nigerian women behind me, aunties, verge of mummy.
Okay.
And they were speaking Yoruba, just having a good, little chin wag.
Don't they know that there's rice at home?
You know what? When you see 2 mummies in McDonald's, they wanted McDonald's.
I know, but
and by the way, don't put it past 2 mummies in
joke,
McDonald's pulling out rice from home. So, because I can't honestly say I saw McDonald's with them, but they were talking. And as I was about to start getting ready to leave, I saw one of these beggars came in. Yeah, and it was a black person. And when you see a beggar from either your lineage or your skin color, you don't just do the normal. Do you have any spare change? You throw in a little mummy. Do you know? You try and get familiar with it. And so the auntie already stood up and said, "Okay." She was going through her coins, just picking out bare coins. It's like everything, mum, everything. You're just gassing them, singing it, and she put the coins in. Okay, be careful now. Okay. As soon as she said, "Oniranu," Ola. My chest fell down because the thing is, she just literally echoed what I was thinking. Because I stood up here and turned around here because he was so close to her. I thought this man's gonna snatch her bag if she's not careful. I started thinking, I'm gonna have to chase somebody. Ola's not gonna believe me when I say I can't make the podcast. I have to chase a thief. You're gonna be like, this nigga here just say you can't make it.
To be fair.
So the answers are only that. Snatch person here. You know how Nigerians talk to each other.
Of course.
She was like, it's the way.
Oniranu, by the way, for anyone listening, like,
what does it mean?
You're rubbish, a person of rubbish. You're a person
by
of
the
nonsense.
Way, there is no translation
no
that can do with the justice of Oniranu.
I'm trying to do it like
Ola, the timing was epic. They said, okay, thank you. Don't take care, Oniranu. Ola, I fell on the floor. Because I was like, I didn't know Nigerians were... Mommy. This is... I didn't know Nigerians were this kind. Because I was so impressed that she handled it. He didn't snatch her purse. She gave enough money. Oh, thank you, mommy. Okay, look after yourself. Sule Oniranu. Ola. With the base and everything. She dropped the whole to Oniranu. Like useless. Which means in her head, she'd be looking at like a lady law. But I just love that about Nigerians. They can be so catty.
She gave him
everything. Ola, I couldn't believe my eyes.
That's perfect.
Ola, I was like, that's
like one of those moments you need to write into a movie or into
as a scene when you're trying to show the character of these women.
Yeah,
and how
perfect.
The reason you laughed is because that's what my mum would do. Hey, take a little she. So evil with it. So that was just the most hilarious thing that happened that weekend. I was already pissed, thinking this brother's gonna snatch her purse. I'm gonna have to chase him and get the purse back. And my fit.
Bro, you at McDonald's right now.
I hadn't really backed down the coke as I was supposed to. But the way she just did it, I was like, bro, that's hilarious.
That's funny, bro.
It was, man. It was. But yeah, it's been It's been a tough weekend. 2-part quote today. It's quite simple.
Yeah.
Life goes on.
I swear we've done that one as well. Have we done that one?
I don't think we've done Life Goes On.
I don't know. I'll quickly run through that and make sure we haven't done Life Goes On. But yeah, man.
And
I
that's
love
the
that
quote,
song.
by the way. Just the lyric. Life goes on.
And life goes on. How many?
Because yes, it's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not that brothers fell victim to the streets,
Okay.
which people think is the only black struggle. We only lose loved ones to the streets. We don't be getting car accidents or sudden illnesses. It's always to the streets.
Yeah, bro.
So every time a black person dies, like, oh man, they got shot 4 times in the head. No.
Yeah.
So the reason I picked Life Goes On is because it's funny when I played that song, people don't realize how potent that line is. But life goes on.
How many? Life goes on.
And the reason I say that is because I was at the show on Saturday. I was in between shows again, trying to just kill time. I like to sit in that square, people watch.
Okay, what Leicester Square?
Yeah.
Okay.
As I was people watching, there was a guy rummaging through bins.
Yeah, that's always depressing.
I just said to myself, damn.
And life goes on.
I didn't even say. I just thought, damn.
God.
The thing that got me was he tried to style it out.
You can't style it out.
I was
man.
thinking, if you're
Look
going to
like
rummage
you
through a
like
bin,
you
you're
dropped
going to rummage
something.
through a bin. Right,
Look like you dropped something. Like
I just thought, if you're
At
going to
this
rummage
point,
through a bin,
there's no-
if I see you put your hand in the bin, I can't judge you. You've won. You've lost. And
you've won. Wait, you said you won. You lost.
You've won. You've
You
lost
lost.
in life, and this is where you are. What am I going to say? Yo, bro, come on. You can do better than that. Man, he's in the bin, rude boy.
I was like, nigga, help me.
Like, the man's, come on. So, that was going through my head. And then I got
To
jumped
be honest, it's a sombering thing watching someone rummage through a bin. Because you...
It was sombering, Allah. I
It's-
started praying.
Bro.
I started praying. And I prayed for him.
I pray
prayed for
that
him.
one day I will get I don't know what it is I need. I don't know whether it's more care, love, or courage, but to like see somebody like that and be like, let me go help you. Because I will people watch him all the way through to him eating it like, oh, he's eating it. Ah. And the whole time, when I think about it afterwards, I'm like, nah, man. Like there's specifically a Bible verse that says, like, if somebody comes to you asking to eat, don't offer them prayer. Like, get them food. And then you can pray for them. But you need to attend to their need right now. They need food right now. So in that thinking, like, bro, that's why I said it's sombering. Like, if I had to sit there, I've never sat there and watched someone rummage through bins. I'd look away. But if I had to, like,
Out of
watch
respect.
it, I don't know if it's out of respect. Do you know
Out
what it
of
is?
respect.
Out of comfort for myself. It's uncomfortable to just be reminded like that. Like, it's that real.
I think he was hungry.
Bro, I've never been that hungry in my life.
Of course, you've never been that hungry in your life. You never had to be.
I
He has to
know.
be that hungry.
That's my point.
But
I don't know. I can't just say,
but
oh,
I
I
don't-
don't hungry.
we don't look
it's
at-
past hunger. It's,
Yeah, but we don't look at it from. People will never understand that.
bro, somebody told me that just one of these girls from the Receipts podcast back
One
in
of
the
these
day.
girls from the Receipts podcast.
Yeah,
You
I
better
don't-
say her name before we get shut down. Do you know how
no,
powerful
I don't
they
want
are?
to say like that.
Tell her.
Actually, do you know what? No, it's not Tully.
Audrey.
Audrey, yeah, Ghana's finest. She told a story. So my sister told me because she was an avid listener. Told me that back in the day, she used to go around the club and take people's like half-finished drinks and just add it to her cup and just mix everything together. She was just like, it was a free way to basically drink in the club. And I was like, I've never got to a point where I wanted alcohol and didn't have money to the point where I would drink random people's drinks.
She didn't drink random people's drinks. She drank the leftover of random people's drinks.
What's the difference?
At least if it was the random person's drink that they had not touched, you can say, well, they didn't touch it. They sipped it to a point and then you're just putting it all together. That's disturbing.
It was disturbing me. I was like, you wouldn't walk around on the street, see a bunch of half-finished drinks and be like, oh, let me add these all
Some
together.
people would.
But that's the thing. I was saying that from a position of like life ain't that bad. But for some people, life is really that bad.
But
when
my
it comes
friend-
to food. Obviously not alcohol in the club. I'm talking about for food.
Yeah, but
Somebody's willing to like
I-
smoke the end of your cigarette butt.
Yeah. But here's the thing. This is the thing about people, though. This is the thing about human beings. We are overrated. We actually walk this motherfucker thinking. My friend, he had a mad tragedy this year. Mad tragedy. Yeah. Lost his entire family. Right. And when I told people, all people could say was, why would she do that? Or how? Because you put yourself into that frame of mind. And that's the biggest problem we do. We put ourselves, but surely you could just leave. Bro, you're not in that position. You've never been in a position where you feel like you can't do it no more. Do you know what it takes for someone? If I told you not to go and jump off the bridge, you'd be like, hell no, Angel. Forget jumping off the bridge. Getting too close. We stand behind the yellow line on the train track. There's someone that will jump over that line. But what we can't do is think, why would you do that? Because you've never felt that way. And the key thing I do is, thank God I don't.
You know, I mentioned it on 3 shots. I've come close, like I've felt suicidal, but I just always felt like I didn't have the courage to take that step or to do anything about it. Like you know, my feeling of being suicidal.
So when you said suicidal,
yeah,
what do you think? What do you think? Because
I wrote a joke about it. This was the joke, and I think the joke best explains how I feel. Like, I felt suicidal to the point where it was like, I would want to kill myself. But I just hate the fact that it's so permanent. Like, if I could get if I could come back like a computer game and just respawn somewhere else, I would have committed suicide like every day until I come back as a rich white guy.
Were you now suicidal, or did you explore the thoughts of suicide from material?
No, I was, bro. That's way too morbid.
No, not really. Because that is actually helping you get through it.
No, but what I'm saying is I went through it in real life,
right?
And then I
write the material. Yeah,
I wrote the material to try and like say, how can I capture this very specific thought, right? Like of wanting to go, but almost scared of the fact that you can't come back. And I realized all it really was that I was doing some cost-benefit analysis on my life, and I was kind of coming to the conclusion that not being here works out better than being here, right? When you get to that position, it seems like a very rational thing to do, to not be here. Right? It seems like if you tell somebody, look, you being here, you cause a problem to everybody. Nobody likes you. You're draining on everyone's resources, blah, blah, blah. If you weren't here, nobody would feel bad. Nobody would even miss you. And you wouldn't feel any pain anymore. You wouldn't feel hurt every day. When you rationalize it like that, you go, all right, well, then it's the obvious thing for me to do is to go. Then you now take into account, once you take this step, once you put those pills in your mouth, you like, unless somebody really helps you pump your stomach or whatever it is, like, you can't, like, just step back from that. Once you take the step off the ledge, you can't be like, actually, I changed my mind. That finality, I think, was what was my barrier. But for some people, they're like, no, I'm past that as well. That's the only way I can rationalize or understand it, because I've only come as close as I'd rather not be here than be here. I've never got to the point of, like, I can definitely, like, make this as a final decision. I could make it as if you could like do temporary suicide, I think more people would. I think more of us would understand it.
Yeah, but that's no, we won't understand it. We won't. You have to understand, man. The world we live in is a joke, and it's all a con. It's all a lie. Happiness is within, but they continuously tell you to look for it outside. We're constantly chasing things that we may never get, which adds the stress to our lives, which makes us feel like, we're incompetent. We're told Rihanna's a billionaire, which they give you no real anything. She's just a billionaire. And we start living precariously and fantasizing of the day that we will become billionaires. This puts added pressure because you have more chance of getting eaten by a cockroach than becoming a billionaire. You see what I'm saying?
Wait,
like,
has anyone ever been eaten by a cockroach?
It's the same odds almost. It's the same odds.
Like,
it is when I exaggerate. It's the same odds.
There are billionaires.
One guy, Darren Bent said, at 15, he was playing football. He didn't take his GCSE series because he's like, I'm going to play football. He said he didn't know one injury could have derailed all of that. And I'll be working where?
Foot Locker.
Not even Foot Locker. Who knows? The percentages.
Can you imagine the injury? They were like, yeah, you're injured. You can't work.
Right.
At Foot Locker.
So you're a father now. Yeah. Take your little son to a little football coach on the weekends. Your mind, if I said to you, football, the first thing that's going to come to your head is what? Messi's, Ronaldo's, the famous ones. That's what's going to pop into your head. Okay. But the chances of your son becoming that are terribly slim.
Of course.
To the point where don't try.
Wow.
Yeah. You're better off doing something. You're better off securing something, because if you're not strong-minded in that place, you can lose it.
Of course. Yeah.
Because I remember that kid that they let him go on from his contract from Man City. He hung himself because they let him go from his contract. And football clubs, people were like, "Oh, there should be." I do agree. You should let these kids down gently because they're kids. But also, there's the extremity of I'm gonna be messy. I'm gonna have all this money. I'm gonna ball out.
Yeah.
But then injuries, life.
But even if they don't want to be messy, like the average Premier League footballers living pretty well. So if he imagines,
How do you know?
I mean, we see their wages.
Who's their wages?
What do you
Who's
mean?
their wages? Because Man United players' wages are completely different from Newcastle player wages.
Oh, of course, yeah. But I'm saying that like even from
How do you two like this?
my brother, my cousin grew up with us in our house. My cousin, he was playing football, right, and he never got that far, but his friends were. So he'd always tell me like, oh, so and so just got signed to Crystal Palace, and this was like when they were in the Championship, and he'd be like, this is how much they're on, and blah blah. I'm like, how much money these young boys are making? Pardon?
How much was he on though?
How much were they on?
Yeah.
Some of them he was telling me they're getting 10 grand a week.
Yes, but here's the thing: 10 grand a week is taxed, right?
Yes, of
and
course.
they're on short contracts, and they're not living on 10 grand a week. They're living on 20 grand a week. You understand?
Oh, I understand the overspending part.
Right,
I understand
so the money sounds great.
Yeah.
But the thing that kills them is it's not going to last forever. And you might not play to the ability where you get more money. So in the end, you end up in more debt than you actually make more money.
True, that can happen if you mismanage and so on.
And everyone does.
But what I'm saying is that like there are very few jobs, right, where 16, 17, 18-year-olds are bringing home. Let's say you get taxed at 50%. You're bringing home 5 grand a week. There's very few jobs like that.
But not every 16-year-old's getting that though, and that's the misconception.
Very true.
Yeah,
you're right.
And that's why everyone thinks they're entitled to that. But clubs don't do that. Special kids get that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think sometimes we and this is a wider discussion anyway. I think the way in which you perceive how people make money is completely skewed, right?
It is.
Right.
People think you're just a billionaire because you're just a bit. My friend was like, if I become a billionaire, do you know how many people I'll be able to help? And I was like, what do you think happens when you become the day just stops and you just sit back and watch all these billions and say, okay, Auntie Funke gonna get a shoe, Auntie Bissy gonna get some shoes, buy a house for. Do you think that's how it works?
Nah, of course not. We've obviously given this a lot of thought and spoken about it on the pod, but I think the average person's perception of the way money is distributed in this world doesn't help them understand that like literally like the world's 5 richest men like own as much as like the bottom 50% of the world. And so
why do the poor people outweigh the rich?
Well, of course, I mean like
because if you don't have poor people, I can't be rich.
Yeah, 100%, exactly. So I think there's that part, and that's what Kevin Samuels is always showing. Like when women have ideas of like what they expect their man to make.
You know, I don't like Kevin Samuels.
I know you don't, but I'm using it to make this point because he often points this out very well in terms of using the numbers. So they will be like, I want my man's got to be black, 6 foot, and make 6 figures, right? 6 figures alone is 9%.
Have you ever met a woman that says that?
Yes.
You have? Okay, yeah. I've never met a woman that says that. Well, not to me anyway.
Fair enough.
Because they probably know I'll just say to them, good luck.
Yeah, fair enough. But I've heard this many times. And this is in the UK. So
was she on 6 figures?
Well, I've heard people say this before when they were in uni. I've heard people say it when they are making like close to 6 figures, but they want a man basically making more than them. So they might be on 80, and then I'm not going to
get into it. What's my own business? Go on.
But anyway, so the whole point is that he would then ask the women, how many people do you think in the country make 100 grand or more? And they'll be like 25%. And he'd be like, it's actually 10%.
Okay.
Right? So already that goes to show you that in her head, she severely overestimated the pool of men that she thinks she's going to get.
But here's the thing, though.
And then,
okay, go on.
And then so he will now then go, all right, so then out of that 10%, how many of them do you think are black? By the time they've done the numbers, right, and like ruled out height, race, and earnings, you realize that this woman is looking at less than 1% of the population. He would then go, well, what does that number look like, right? So less than 1% is going to be, you know...
0.006.
Yeah, maybe there's like 300,000 of these guys, right?
If that.
Across the country of over 300 million.
Okay.
So if you've got 300,000 of these guys, how many of them do you think are already married?
Okay.
Right? By the time you start breaking down the numbers even further...
How many of them are gay?
I mean, all of those figures, all of that.
How many of them
kind
are
thing.
serial killers?
How many of them are you've never met because they live in a completely different part of the
How many
country?
of them are abusive to women?
By the time you do this, you're basically looking for a needle in a haystack. And there's so many women who want exactly what you're saying. They all want somebody who's decent, good looking, 6 foot, has money, blah, blah, blah. So if all of you want these few guys, how realistic do you think your chances are? When you do it the numbers wise, you don't get a chance to really to like make up this world anymore. But if you ask people before they've seen the numbers, people will tell you that there's so many of them. They're everywhere. I see them all the time.
Well, I mean, I don't I don't know what a 6-figure guy is or why a 6-figure guy is any better than a 2-figure guy, other than he has more money.
Yeah.
But the truth is that money's not gonna make your marriage happy, or it's not gonna keep you.
Tell modern
together.
women this, they'll tell you I'd rather cry in a Rolls Royce than be happy in a Toyota.
That's a lie. What's it called? Because my friend, remember I told you last week, she was her birthday. She was like, I think she just turned 29. She was like, I just want to wake up and naked in my mansion.
Yeah,
and I was like, the reality is moving back with mum and finding a house in Billericay.
Not Billericay.
Maybe a fix. Billericay's a nice place, by the way. Maybe a fix me up.
Do you know, Billericay just sounds funny, bro.
It just sounds funny.
I
just say it's Basildon. That would be really. But what I mean is, what is wrong with that? I was at my uncle's barbecue on Saturday. Just turned 50. I see my little cousins and my little, they're grown now. Yeah. And there's so much just beauty in it. These are people that came from Nigeria. My uncle was a roadman, blood. Carried some things to America.
Wow, to America?
Yeah, man, had to do some things in America. Did his time and came back and, rejuvenate himself. Is it rejuvenated? What's it called? Rehabilitated himself. I said rejuvenate.
I said rejuvenate, but I went to the spa. Got facial, like, woo, I'm back. Prison was hard, man. Prison was hard.
The rehabilitation back and came back and now he's a father of 4.
Wow.
His daughter's flipping a genius. She's gonna be
when you said flipping, I thought you might say she's flipping their backs now as well.
Hell no. She's
a genius. Like, what? Flipping?
And his son is like 6'2". Comes up to me, what's going on, Uncle Funmbi? Like, shut. I try and hot them up because you got.
Of course, man. You have to
shut up, man. Don't put on bass when you greet me. But and I'm like, this is life. This is what I want. He's got a nice house, the backyard. This is my uncle. This is all yours. Because we was having a barbecue. And he lives right up the road from my mum and dad. Yeah. And he's got a nice little house. And his family's good. He's a lawyer. Yeah. And not Johnny Cochran. Just he works. And I'm looking for that simplicity in life.
Bro, you know what, I think a lot of people want the simplicity. And I don't doubt that you want it. But I think when people say they want something simple, right? It's very easy to say it's simple if you face it simply. But when you now start to deal with the nitty-gritty of it, the day-to-day of it, right? Like when someone says, I want to wake up naked in my mansion or whatever it is, they haven't thought about, what's the heating bill for a mansion? They haven't thought about,
what's the driveway cost maintenance?
You know what I'm saying?
My dad told me he had to do his roof again. Because the roof was, it's been a while. Yeah. So how much did it cost? 10 grand. Yeah. It's me for the roof.
For the roof, bro.
What the roofers? He ain't got no man. So let me call up quick. He knows some roofers.
Tell him, man, look here, give me 50%. Just do this side of the house.
I don't do that.
This someone can get wet. It's fine.
Can you imagine that? So now let's break it down for the mansion.
Bro, you can't even imagine what that must be like. But anyway, what I'm saying is that when people say something, they don't always have thought through all of the little bits. No. So when somebody says to you, I want a simple life, again, this is another good thing that I learned from watching Kevin Samuels ask these women these questions. Saying, all right, so cool. When you get pregnant, do you want to be responsible for bills? And if they are like, no, then that means they need a guy who can basically earn enough.
Yeah, but I don't care about those people, though.
For a man, a woman, and kids, right? No, but here's the thing. It's not about whether you care
those people to me are not real.
No, but I'm saying, I'm just letting you know, from somebody who's now got 2 kids, having kids is a very expensive time.
Of course.
And not only is it an expensive time, it's something that if you're not sure about where you're at, it can break an otherwise okay marriage, right? You have to be really strong to get through some of these challenges, right? So if especially, in America, they get 12 weeks maternity leave. You know what I'm saying? That's 3 months. A lot of mums, they're just still healing up. The babies still want breast.
That's a system issue.
That's the way the game is.
Not
so
in this country.
If you want, we're lucky in this country.
Yeah.
But
we're not lucky. We're just different from Americans.
But I didn't do anything to set up the laws here. If I had just been born in America, that puts me in a whole different position. Because now, if you get pregnant and you want to spend more time sort of bonding with your baby, weaning your baby, blah 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 blah, you can't. You really do need somebody who can hold down bills. So it really does push people towards this extent of like, you may say you just want a nice guy who loves you, whatever it is, but when month 4 hits and you've got no income coming in, and now you have an extra.
But why are you having a wife and kids with no income coming in?
It's not even about no income. I'm saying the wife doesn't have any income.
But why she has no income coming in?
Because if she wants to spend more than 3 months, they stop paying.
Okay, so why does she have to spend more than 3 months?
Bro, have you seen what it's like for women when they've...
Well, then America should fix up.
It's easy to say that.
No, it's not easy to say that. It's because it's easy to do.
It's easy to just fix America.
No, they should fix. It's easy. It was easy to take slavery. It's easy to rape people. It's easy to put people in jail. It's easy to sell the lies upon lies upon lies. So why is it not easy to put an extension on women's bodies?
I'm saying you're as a couple.
Yeah.
Right. This is the situation you're in. You're not going to change the law in time for this baby.
But you should plan better then. Plan according to your laws.
You should plan.
Yes.
You should definitely plan. I agree with you. But what I'm saying to you is that even if you do plan, it's very, very difficult to have a
Nothing in life is easy.
You're going to have to put
Nothing in life is easy. Ease is a bigger threat to progress than hard work. I know it's not going to be easy. Having one child is not easy. Having a girlfriend is not easy. None of these things are easy. People should stop looking for easy. What in life is easy?
I agree with you.
Flying from Dubai to from England to Dubai, where I'm gonna do shows in a hotel and enjoy myself, was not easy.
Yeah, no, I actually agree with you on that one.
We just always look for ease.
But I think
there's nothing easy in this life. Do you know why you have these kids? Do you know why you build a relationship with someone? Because you love. You fight for that shit. You earn the right to be in love. We just want love for free. Want to wake up with my balls swinging? This is easy. No. You work in life.
What's the boss?
It's just that's why I picture people's relationships.
That's a tough
waking up. You know what it is? We equate a whole lifestyle on an MTV video we saw. A man waking up with a cigar, when I'm loving you now, and the girl walks by on the white sands. That's the bullshit. Or we watch a movie and we see a sex scene where he throws her across the table and she slides in. And the moment she lands, her pum pum's open and he just kind of flies into it. That shit doesn't happen in real life.
I was watching them passive videos, bro.
Like, if you get one night with your wife in a year or in a month or whatever, where you do like a movie role play thing, you treasure that moment. Don't come back tomorrow with some bullshit. Should we do Top Gun tonight? Nigga, you know we got work in the morning.
You said this. I remember. I remember, bro.
You take that moment and you treasure it.
I get you, bro.
We don't want moments no more. We want everything to be a house party. That's not life, boo-boo.
Yeah, that part I agree with you 100%. It's just a tough sell to tell modern women right now that you should just go and
I don't agree with that. I think it's a tough sell to tell people on Instagram, to tell people who like to watch social media people tell you how to live your life and read books about men who cheat, but you still think he's a good guy. It's tough for them to tell them that stuff. But real women in the streets, they understand the game. Because I don't know anybody of my peers who are married who are just out here. It's hard work. It's not easy. But it doesn't have to be. My sister started a doll business. And it's in Selfridges. When I posted that, everybody's messaging me, oh my God, amazing. I spoke to my sister. This is her. If Selfridges call me now, I'll hide.
Wow.
Because they asked for another 100 dolls.
My goodness.
I told you when Larry David, when they said to him, we want 21 episodes of Seinfeld, he said physical tears came down his eyes. Because he said to himself, how am I going to write this shit?
Of course.
By the way, this is what you've been dreaming for.
Of course.
When they sat down and said to us, waiting days or go ahead, we had sleepless nights.
Bruh.
We were stressed, trying to put it together. We had an argument in the hospital club, trying to get sketches sorted. Yeah, bro. So it's never easy, and it's not supposed to be.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
From time Jesus got crucified for spreading good, who are you?
I think, yeah, to be right, I think in general, like this kind of the public perception of what life should be, especially on social media. But I think wider than social media, I think social media takes a lot of easy flack because it's an easy target. But generally, life is constantly being sold to you on like it should be easy. But
before it was TV.
Yep, TV.
You know, all that kind of stuff.
TV, movies, books,
I told you, all the R&B singers who I fell in love with.
Yeah.
None of them were even married.
To be like, people believe that love is just easy. Like once we love each other, like everything's just gonna be smooth.
I tell people love is in the grit. Love is in the.
That's when you really see
Oh
love.
yeah. That's when you really.
It's when the times are hard.
That's when you need love. That's when you need love.
That's when you need
That's
love.
when you need.
Is for
Otherwise,
the
you just discard her.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to be having a great even a girl you're half attracted to seems amazing if you're both like riding off in sunsets, taking private flights, and you're having sex every day and blah blah blah. Pay some bills with a girl you're half attracted to. Everything you feel about will come out in that argument. Yeah, and you ain't even that fine, and I have to still. By the way,
it doesn't take more than a simple piss. Someone piss you off to tell you, you know what, your cooking ain't shit,
bro. This is what I'm saying.
Nigga, you've been eating for 3 weeks begrudgingly.
What, you think I like that? You think I like that? I've been losing weight. I've been spinning up.
And
you know, get me bulimia.
It's important to remember. Life is not easy. Life is not linear. I was saying I used this analogy the other day. This is a
very good point. I like the fact you brought this up.
Like this is another thing I said was like I used this analogy the other day. It's like we live in a world where as soon as any rockiness or hardship comes in a relationship, it's options now. I'm like, you don't see the love no more. It's like if you're going to Manchester from London to do a gig or whatever, and you're driving on the M12, M6 or whatever, and your car's saying I need more petrol, you don't pull up saying, man, fuck this car, man. I wish I had that Bugatti over there. That's just zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, you don't start looking at I hate this car, man. Start walking. All your car is saying is, bro, if you take me to the petrol station, put a little oil in me, dust me down a bit, turn the radio on, I'll treat you good. I'll get there too. Yeah. But you don't look at the car like that no more. Yeah. Do you make times when even that your car there? Yeah. Just add a little clean to it. I'll be like, hola. You're stepping into the money now? Because you've given it a little treatment. And I've been in your car where Dara's slippers has been on my ear. And then it's just,
bro,
it's
don't
just
put my car on Jump Street like this.
This nigga said, don't be putting my car out like that.
Don't put my car
I'm saying is,
like
my
that.
sister, when I got to my sister's car the other day, this is me.
Change it to your sister's car.
This is me. Femi, you're right. She was like, what? It's me, your car is clean. So you know what? It's summer holidays. I'm not taking her to school as much. I'm not in the car as much. I just let me wash my car. Now it looks like the baby she bought when she first got it. It just takes a little movement around. And I said to couples, let me tell you something here. Just because you're going through tough times doesn't mean we're over. It means now we have to dig deep. Okay. This is where the love is really going to have to grow.
Okay. Folks, where you getting all this marriage advice
because
from?
I'm at that point now where I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Because there's the thing, Ola, you have to understand, you have to want to love somebody. You have to tell your woman, I need to love you. Every single time. Wow. What do I need to do to make you happy? Because it's good for my soul. So when you get to that point, you're okay, man. It's never going to be my siblings. Every time I see my siblings, I ask, for instance, we went to the family barbecue. Okay. I told my sister on Wednesday, your husband's not coming. She goes, don't worry about that. He's coming. It's only up the road. Come Saturday. Where's your husband? He's not coming. I went into the yard, saw the man, dapped him, what's going on? He's chilling. But I know why he doesn't want to come. He's just not that kind of person. Sometimes it just gets a bit much for him. Of course. Just to be by himself. There's occasions where he's going to have to come. Now, my sister learned you got to pick the times. Of course. This is her. Now, I don't... Listen, did you used to argue with her all the time? But it just became an argument. Yeah. So now I pick my moments. And I also remember this year, women, again, I tell women, you pick your moments. The moment your husband says, I'm not coming to the family barbecue, you're getting shoes and handbags the next week. Wow. Because he is in the wrong. He knows he has to step up.
Wow. I wouldn't buy shoes. Maybe I'm slacking.
But you will do something to show Tola that, I'm not a piece of shit, totally.
Nah, I feel no way about saying I'm not going.
You're rude. Every family function?
Not every, but I mean, like most of them.
Don't get me wrong. If it's the little girls, my friends getting married, sack all of those. Sack all of those as a man. Don't go to any of those bridal where your girl wants to show you up to the rest and all that. Done all of that. But what I'm talking when it's like, uncle's birthday, auntie's birthday, you don't go to none of those.
Do you know what? No, like if it's a serious one, I'll be there.
Which birthday's not serious, Ola? Don't say that. No,
if it's
some uncle's not serious.
Birthday, if it's,
right.
I'm like, come on, man. It's like, I was like, you're 32, man. Relax. Right, but if it's like mommy's 60th, I'm gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, brother's 21st, and it's a big. I'm gonna be there. And some of the less important ones, I'll still be there. But like, most of the time, I don't like those family gatherings. Why not? I don't really. Do you know what it is? I had to figure this out for myself, but I think I just got to a point in my life where I was like, I'm only gonna be places I want to be.
God damn.
No, bro, because think about it, as a kid, you don't really have that much of a say where you go. Your mum says we're going to go and see Auntie
Yeah.
Tudun, and bro, like, you sit there for the whole
As soon
time.
as you hit 20, I ain't doing none of that.
Exactly. So now imagine you've done freed yourself from all of that, only to now put yourself right back in that prison. We now need to go and visit this person, this person. There's something in me that wants to break out.
You know what? It's funny.
I put so much work into being self-employed. You're you're gonna.
It's
put
funny
me
because
on
at
this.
the barbecue, obviously it's a family thing, innit?
Yeah.
So me and my cousins were all there, just gisted. The family, that couple that you don't know, but they brought their kids with them
Yeah. Oh.
because they're like 9 and 13. You could see they were the ones that they're not at that point where they don't have a choice yet. We were laughing our ass off at them. This is you lot are bad, but you're not even welcoming. Like, hey guys, come and hang with us. We were all still like, we don't know you. But back to, I guess the reason why I was feeling that when you asked me, the story I was actually trying to tell you was in between the shows. I was on Facebook scrolling through, and I saw a post of a friend who I haven't seen in years or spoken to in years. But I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen, her in a minute. I should holler at her. And I read the post and it says, it brings me great sadness to say we've lost a real one. So I'm like, we've done what? A lot of my boys know this girl. One of my friends is he's married to her best friend. We were at the wedding that I hosted and we were all there. So I reached out quickly, like, have you heard about so and so? My first Caleb was like, no, I didn't know. Like, are you sure? I finally get in touch and she died of cancer. 38, 39. And right there and then, my life was like, my mind was like, growing up in this world, you're so protected. You hear about these things, but you don't know how, when we get to that age, we're going to have to deal with health issues and losing friends that we went to college with, church and all that kind of stuff. And not to just violence, not to knife crime.
To lose them to the streets.
Right, just as simple as cancer. And it hurt me because I feel like it's so sad in the sense where there's so much you deal with in this life as just being a human being. You combine that with being a woman or a man or being black or being short or being all of these things that just create bumps, speed bumps in the road. And she had breast cancer. They took the breast out. It came back, and I think 3 of my friends have dealing with breast cancer. So when black people talk about the things that we're dealing with and struggling with, it always seems to center around the same common denominators, racism and whatever. But we have real stuff like cancer and sickle cell and things that affect our people, and we are oblivious to all of them. And that's what bugs me the most.
That's sombering, and I think there's a scripture that says it's better to attend a funeral than a wedding, and I think, yeah.
That's deep.
Bro.
That just hit me, bro. You know what hit me? I pictured the wedding, and all I saw was phones in the head. That's all I saw in my head.
Bro, that's it. The Bible says it's better to attend a funeral than a wedding. Because it goes on to explain that the wisdom that you receive from observing mortality is greater than the temporary enjoyment.
Then the bullshit you see when this couple that done dragged you from your house to spend all this money, and then they have the nerve. Can you imagine when one of my friends got married, and they were like, he's been having second thoughts about the marriage. This is me. When I paid the most, bros, suit tux,
you better not have no
for $150, and you made us rock up to the hotel. We did stag do in Kent, and now you're having second thoughts. Think harder. Bro. And it's so true. When you said that, I was thinking, why though? Then I realized there's 2 different moods here, bro. Yeah. One's gonna read Ola, because once I saw that moment and I saw the post of her, she's gone, Ola. It's not like I could DM. I went into our last DMs to what we spoke about. Her mum had just passed, and I was just I was consoling her and giving my condolences on that. What really hit me was, I'm a bit of I can be a prick, but it's always in my playful nature. And she messaged me saying, hey, babe, can I get someone's number? And my response was, who's your babe? No real reason to be a douche, but it was just fun being it.
Yeah.
And I remember reading that thinking, look at the last thing I said to this girl. Bro. And I didn't know she was going through that. My friend said he went to go and see her towards the end. I don't know if you've ever seen someone who's had cancer. And he was like, Funmbi. I was like, you didn't recognize her, did you? He was like, no. I said, I remember when my auntie had cancer. My brother said to me, listen, when you get in there, you're going to be, I did the whole OG thing. Nigga, I know what time it is. She got cancer. Big C, I know what it is. I've been here, baby.
I said, I'm a Leo.
I'm a Leo. Like,
I don't deal with cancer.
You start doing, man. I know. Listen, I know what to expect. You know, don't get it too. I'm not, I can handle this.
Yeah.
Allah walked into that hospital room, couldn't handle it. I broke in 3 seconds. My auntie was like, come. What's wrong? I didn't want to make her feel like,
Yeah, it's not
I
about
did
me.
not
Like,
recognize her. To the point where I was like, I'm coming, and they took me out the room, and I just had to like just let it out. I could not believe my eyes, and so I could only imagine. And my auntie was in her 50s, I would say. This girl was 38, and cancer had eaten right through her. And it just made me really, like you said, it put my mind into perspective, man. What are we really doing? Life is very, very short.
to be fair, you know, it puts a lot. You know, all the topics that we kind of go through social media or the timeline, you know, all of these kind of like, I want to wake up naked in my mansion. I want to, you know, you go and get BBL, you know what I'm saying? Or like going to rent a car so you can go stunt and pick up girls. You have that conversation with somebody who's dealing with like stage 4 cancer and you just feel like the dumbest guy possible. And you know,
I'd had a good day up until that point. Just chilling. I was probably messaging random girls thinking, what's going on? I'm on my stay. What y'all doing? Just was probably I was going through my head. That shit there, I couldn't even go on stage after that. I was just like, my friends just passed away. There was no way I could reach out because I didn't even know. You know?
Yeah.
Man, that hurt. And that's when I was thinking of the Tupac quote. It was so important to believe life goes on because Allah, I had a show to do. Life literally goes on. No one stops.
And like I said it to you recently that like Tupac's got 2 songs like that, and I always felt like that there's Life Goes On and then there's How Long Will They Mourn Me, and both of the songs just kind of remind you that like even when you go, even when it's your time, like other people still have time, and what they do at that time can be impacted by the fact that you've gone. But even then, it'll come up, but then they still have to get onto other things. Even if even if you are married, your spouse is gonna have to like still change nappies if you still have a little kid. They're still gonna have to pay bills.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
God.
I think that really puts a lot into context when you think about your life and you think about why you're here or what you're doing here. It's just realizing that life, bro, it's such a good quote. It's such a good cause for thinking. And I know that this is sounding like one of those Fresh Prince episodes where they don't play the theme tune at the end because it was mad serious. You know what I'm saying? But like this is so like we talk about everything and anything on this podcast. Talk about all sorts. We go from, you know, we even spoke about death earlier on, but in a fascination way. Like, look at these true crime stories.
Yeah.
But to really sit down and ponder the nature of like what it is to go, what is like really be like you're gone, it's done.
Remember that Cardiff striker who they signed from the January transfer window, and his plane went down, and he was texting his family on WhatsApp saying, he joked about it, then he said, seriously guys, I think you're gonna have to come and find me, because they knew the plane was going down. And the plane went down. God bless the rescue teams, but the Premier League had to play on. The Cardiff had to play on.
Bro.
You know? Do you know what? Can you imagine? At that point, I knew they were getting relegated. Because there's just no way you can ride that, you know? Like, just our luck.
What, they can't do it for Lil Saint? Do it like
I thought they could do. No, it was one of the ones where you like, it would have been a lovely story to do it for.
Yeah.
But he wasn't really their player. They were just about to sign him. But Sean Mayo did a joke about it.
Oh,
I know, right?
Goodness,
he said,
guy.
Isn't it ironic that he was actually signed to keep him up and ended up going down? And everybody was just like,
oh, Sean.
But if Sean didn't do that, he wouldn't be Sean.
He would have been, I know, but Sean.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't write a joke like that. Not even 10 years later, I couldn't write a joke like that. But I said that to say, you know, life really goes on. And so what I did was I said, and another line Tupac said in a song, I think it was "Living Down in LA," learn how to think ahead so I fight with my pen. And that's what I'm gonna try and do.
Well, yeah.
Where I use the things that I'm feeling, because I'm in that part of my life where I'm trying to. My cousin said to me yesterday, guy, there's no black coming of age stories. Like, do we turn around, or is it just we just stop at that? Ricky, it's just Doughboy and that's it. It's Top Boy and that's it. You know.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my people are dealing with marital issues and the stresses of being single, and your mum saying, "When is your time?" People dealing with breast cancer and stuff like that. These are the stories that I want to tap into now.
To be honest, I saw a question on Twitter this week from a girl asking, like, does anyone ever talk about the male side of pressure to get married in African homes? And I was like, yeah, it comes up often on our podcast. And she was like, yeah, I want to check that out. You know, I want to hear the male side of this. And if anything, that just buttresses your point that, like, people want to hear about real issues. People are, obviously, she's a woman, she's going through her own, and she's probably experienced that sort of like, when are you going to get married thing. But she wants to know, like, what's the story like on the other side? Like, what's it like when your mum's asking you, like,
My mum's asking me.
Or
I was at the barbecue and I saw the snipers move into formation. There was 2 aunties by the barbecue thing. Wow. You even go in and say, okay, there's 2 aunties by the barbecue thing. You gotta avoid that.
You start making them calculations.
There's one by the DJ booth. Now I slide behind her, and I move to and the thing is this: when you're under that kind of pressure, you can't feel free. Yeah. The moment you're gonna take a drink, if your wife was here now, you'd be taking 2 drinks. They don't even find a slick way to bring it in. And my aunties are so chauvin. What's the word? Oh, they're so sexist. As in, I'm going to get my own plate of food. If you had your wife now, you'd be sitting there, she'd be coming to serve you.
That's true.
And I was like, oh, I could still go up and get my own food.
I mean, that's one of the perks, man.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm enjoying that part.
Nigerian women.
I enjoy that in our culture.
I do enjoy in our culture, but it's not why I'm marrying a wife.
Of course. You don't marry someone just to get your food.
Right. That's my point. It's like, auntie, this is not why I married my wife. In fact, I would like to be the guy who brings my wife to food.
All right.
I'm chatting so much shit. I ain't doing that shit.
All right, brother.
I ain't doing that shit. I'm still Nigerian.
It just sounded good for a second.
Serve me at barbecues.
Yeah, I hear you.
They serve the men. It's just what happens.
Yeah.
And when it's time to carry the heavy drink from the top,
of course,
they call me.
Of course. We know our place in we know our place.
And that's why I don't
There's no way that you can see Big Mommy carrying bags into the place
and then you can't
help. You're sitting down.
At the same time, there's no way Big Daddy's coming to serve small auntie anything.
Yeah, exactly.
My sister, once my aunties came and the uncles came, my sister and my cousin disappeared from the conversation because they were getting food for everybody.
Wow.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah.
So as Big Mummy comes, Big Auntie comes, Kilefe, you sort everybody out. That's it.
Yeah.
It's culture.
Yeah.
I don't need to change it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Me too.
When it comes down to doing what we need to do as the men in that place, we do it.
Of course.
My uncle.
Of course.
We understood. He needed extra tables with the youth, the youngers. Yeah. And I'm not young, but I'm part of the youngers.
Yeah.
Because they're my older cousins.
Of course.
For me, I need table, yeah. Because they have guests that come. Yeah. You don't say, oh no, these are our tables.
Yeah.
You give them the table.
Of course.
I love the dynamics in that. In terms of the pressure of being a man, there's no pressure in that sense. Because you don't feel it because more time as a man you might have moved out.
But you told me that you do feel it. You said it on this pod a couple times.
When I go home,
Like
yes.
they're putting the pressure on
When
you.
I go home, yes.
Yeah.
I'm never around it though.
Okay.
Because women don't leave the house until they get that marriage. More time. Very rarely live alone. They still live with their parents.
Okay.
That is hell.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, obviously some women do move out, but I'm like the ones that live there, it must be
my
like
friend,
every day.
she's going through it now, and she was like, I need to move out from this. You need to move out. You know, another thing that black people are struggling with, and I say black people because we're black, and I don't believe this country caters to our feelings. It just caters to our bodies, not our feelings. They need us here to build their system, and that's the bag. The other thing is just, to keep you happy. It's like the it's just when everyone says 3 times to you, they don't respect you.
They speak to you like
they
the hot guy
at the bar. They're just trying to give you whatever.
Yeah.
Adulting. No one told us how it was going to be. And a lot of us are struggling with adulting. Going from that transition.
I'm going to dispute that one.
Going from that transition from being that young person to being a parent or responsibilities. A lot of them are struggling with it.
I'm going to dispute that one. I think a lot of us were told and we just all thought it was going to be different for us.
But you know what? There's that element of it too. We all
ignored. I feel like our parents were constantly telling us, like, go and read your book tomorrow.
No, go and read your book issues. You know what? They didn't sell it to us the right. They didn't spoon. You know when you have medicine, there's a reason why it's sweet as a kid. You know, because you're not gonna eat if not. They should have given us a bit more sweetness.
Nah, they give us the real.
They gave us the real. It was too raw.
You will end up in McDonald's,
right? Because the truth is this. I told my friend, I said, you're supposed to spend your 20s catering for your 30s and so on and so forth. We spent our 20s living our best life. And then in 30s, you're trying to repair the damage you did in your 20s.
Yeah.
You understand? How you
start hustling backwards.
Right?
You paying off debt now.
Everybody did that.
Yeah.
This is Eddie Murphy. I spent my 40s trying to clean up my 30s.
Golly.
Because he didn't realize I'm doing the most now. I'm supposed to be setting myself up to settle down.
Yes.
You understand? We don't know how to set ourselves up to settle down. We think we're setting ourselves up to ball out.
Oh, wow. You understand?
We're supposed to set.
Drop that one more time.
We're supposed to set ourselves up to settle down. But we think we're setting ourselves up to ball out. So that's why every time in my 20s I want to live my best life, then I'm going to continue that in my 30s. Then it's going to go to a crescendo. No. It's supposed to work so you can relax.
My goodness.
But what we're doing is working so we can enjoy.
My goodness.
But in all of that enjoy, it's like, what have I left behind?
My goodness.
A bunch of receipts.
Wow.
A bunch of mess.
Wow.
A bunch of shoes I don't need.
Wow.
A bunch of garms that match I don't need. I'm 40. I've still got the fit with the yellow jeans matching. I'm 45 years old. You know?
To be honest, I'm looking at hella crepes inside my studio right now like, yeesh.
7 years time ain't gonna do that. But here's the thing. You're gonna give all these to your son. Somebody got to wear these. Because the truth is this. You're gonna get to a point where you're gonna be like, it's not who I am right now.
My son's gonna be looking at these now. This is vintage.
These times they never wear crepes anymore. They just put a night tick on their feet or something like that. I don't know. But that's the thing about life that no one tells you.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to just ball out. Your 20s is where you have that youthful exuberance. I suggest you work your monkey ass off.
Yeah.
So you can relax when you don't have the energy.
Yeah,
Hey, Ola,
that's a big point. That's a very big point.
Between me and you, I did 5 push-ups this morning. By the time I got to 5, I said, God damn.
You know what I've been doing recently, actually? I started at 10 push-ups, but every day I have to do one more. I did 14 yesterday. Today I have to do 15.
You know what? Your body, when it gets to 13, nigga, you gonna do 15 for real?
Bro, every day I'm like, am I gonna make it?
You know what? Yeah, you know what you should do? Never think of 15. Right?
Yeah.
Because the moment you start thinking of 15, when you get to 12, by the way, 12, 13, 14, 15, it's nothing.
Yeah.
But when you have a mental
12, yeah, that's what I do is actually, once I get close, I start counting backwards.
Okay.
So once if I was doing 15, I'd count to 10, then I'd go 4, 3, 2,
Once
1.
I get to, I put on Tupac Hellraiser.
Yeah. My phone, the music.
When I hear Lutasha, fuck the world. And I start, you know what? Yeah. In those,
born thugging, heartless and mean, bugging in 16.
Hey, that gets you moving.
Bro,
I tell you now, yeah. When you,
let's we can't go past Hellraiser. Hellraiser is such a tune. My sister loves it. She knows all the words to Hellraiser. I'm telling you.
You know what? I watch reaction videos, and when I see how, because everybody says you can feel him in this song.
When he says born thugging, heartless and mean, mugging at
16 on the scene, watching fiends bugging. One of the lines
kicking
that killed
up
me.
Dust with the
one of the lines that
G's.
killed me when it goes, "Dear Lord, can you hear me? Show away." No, it goes, "Dear Lord, can you hear me? I can't figure why you let the police beat down niggas." And then he says, "Dear Lord, can you hear me? I live a life of a thug. Hope you understand. Forgive me for my mistakes. I gotta play my hand." Then he goes, "And my hands on a 16 shot, semi-automatic. This is crooked cock killing Glock. This is me. Pac gonna get us arrested."
Every time I play it, I'm like, "Oh,
this is me crooked." When he goes on the next one, he goes, "Every nigga on my block dropped 2 cops." I was like, "Don't do that." But the part when he goes, "Everybody run for cover." Oh shit, thug life, motherfucker, duck quick.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Little Tasha, and all that."
Yeah.
And the reason I
had to even go look up Lil Tasha because that
made me look up Lil Tasha. Yeah. That was years ago when I bought it though.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of that song because it gives me that motivation to really work out.
Yeah.
And you know, you got to talk. And that's the thing about that I tell people, or I tell myself, I guess, in this journey of life. It's in those moments, that workout. That simple analogy of you're driving to Manchester, your car saying I need petrol, and you're mad that it's not got revolving doors.
Yeah,
You're looking at the Bugatti next to you thinking, why can't you be like him? Nigga, why can't you afford him?
bro, and that's the question nobody wants to ask, because I think a lot of people believe that like there's no difference between me and the Bugatti driver. I was, bro. We both have. You don't have two legs. Bro. You don't have two heads. So bit by bit, yeah. I think what you're seeing now is.
Oh, that's funny.
Like if you speak to some women about the guy that they want, for example, because this one's a much more clear example. They just feel like the only difference why they don't have a guy who has the Bugatti or isn't the Bugatti guy is because they didn't ask for it. So it's like now I just have to keep a standard. Now that's all I'm accepting. And then you really realize you can't afford the Bugatti, but it's like by that point it's too late. So at this point in our lives, right? I think I've said this before because again, it's another scriptural concept. Learning to be content, whether you're up or you're down, is the biggest key, right? And what you were alluding to earlier on, where you said like they keep telling us that the happiness is out there. That's how you sell stuff to people.
Honestly,
you put happiness just out of their reach.
Just out of their reach.
There'll be no adverts if they tell you.
You know how you said to me
you're
about
good.
the 3-month American thing. Remember we discussed this afternoon. He was like, but that's how Americans go with it because they're selling you. But because he said in America, if you have money, you can have the best healthcare available to you.
Of course.
So what they say to you is this: if you just had money, if you just became a billionaire like LeBron, if you just worked harder,
So
like you said, they just put it out. They just put it out of your reach. Meanwhile, you're getting doggied hardcore.
The average American feels like a temporarily embarrassed millionaire.
Temporarily, innit?
Temporarily embarrassed.
Going for a little something right now.
Just go for a little something right now. But my million's on the way.
You said the average American.
I feel like
that. Human being.
I feel like that. I don't know whether I'm caught in a trap or not, but I feel like I'm supposed to have money one day. I just genuinely feel like that. And I think like that.
Maybe you don't realize, because I said this to my sister. Whenever the Bible mentions anything about wealth and stuff like that, we equate immediately to riches. We equate to currency, not knowledge, not wisdom, not patience, not building your soul as a person. It's always currency. I think, and that's why the Bible said the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yes.
Because with the desire for money, why did that woman kill her husband at an ATM? Anybody. It's really bad that men say this, but this is my friend to me when I was like 15. He said, Funmbi, if a woman comes to you and I says, come for a stroll with me, say no. She's going to get you beaten up.
Facts.
I was like, oh shit.
Facts.
I didn't think of it like that.
A stroll at night.
Yeah.
Which woman wants to be outside at night?
The moment she said $60 at the ATM at 11 o'clock, I said, oh hell no.
Hell no.
I'd be like this. We having issues. You didn't want to talk about it.
My wife's constantly trying to keep me in at night.
Can you imagine if Tola just says, Ola, can you go to the ATM at 11? Oh, so you just gonna kill me like that?
I'm gonna just stay right there, just keep my eye on that. Let me just give me a second. All right. Excuse me.
Yeah, there's a plot to kill me.
I just want to report a crime that's about to happen.
Imagine you look at your
I'm
wife.
about to be dead in about 10 minutes.
And your wife could be sincere. Can you just go pick up 2 kids? I give you 5 and you just gonna kill me like that. She's like,
I gave you the best years, girl.
What are you talking about? You gonna send me for groceries at 11:30? And she said $60 in the account she sent it to. There was only $5 in it.
Yeah.
So he tried to take 60, 40, and then 20, and he couldn't get the money out, which
check
gave
the
the person enough time to come and jump in the car. But because she was being manipulating his whole life, he just was routinely sent to the stove.
Mine was a send out.
And so that's why,
my goodness.
like you said, I don't even know why I made that point, but like, the love of money is the root of all evil. Her whole thing was just money. She just loved money. All she cared about was money.
Yeah, man. And to be honest, I think that angle of things is really, really ruining people's ability to because just have genuine conversations anymore. Just have because if you're constantly sizing people up or you're constantly trying to get one over on each other because of this money thing, I think you can see it almost on a society level. Of course, some people can't get married, whatever. Boo. But on the grand scheme of things, even normal day-to-day conversations are always kind of on edge, or you're not sure if somebody's trying to get something from you or whatnot. Everybody's just a bit too hungry. And every time you meet somebody who doesn't really care, genuinely doesn't care, it's so refreshing. It's what? You ain't trying to get no money? You're trying to do that? You just want to hang out?
When you speak to most people on 100, because the truth is this, nobody really knows what they want. You do realize, you and Tola, for instance, I love your setup.
My wife's name out here, man.
Sorry, but she's your wife. You and your wife. Your beautiful wife, Tola, who is amazing. And I love your relationship. if you said to me, money will make us happier, I'd be like, man, that's really sad. Because you don't
It would
realize.
though. Come on,
Let me paint the picture.
Yeah,
You don't realize money could drive the wedge that makes you divorce.
Oh, definitely. Oh, for sure. It could do.
Because imagine you coming to 300 million now. And tell us on some bullshit. Hey man, I ain't gotta deal with this. I got 300 mil.
Hey,
I got 99 problems and the butch ain't one. You know,
bruh. Do you know what? Yeah, I keep and what you're saying it ties in perfectly. I kept saying like, you know, when women are talking about like, oh, you know, back in the day, all our mums and grandmas, they'll be mistreated in their marriages, but they couldn't leave because the man was the one who had all the money, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, cool. So you would think then, basically, now that you guys have the money, you have better marriages. No, you don't. You don't actually have any tools to make a marriage better. You just got more reasons to leave. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So
imagine money highlights what you didn't want in the marriage in the first place.
This is what I'm saying.
I was just putting up with this, but now I got money.
So the people genuinely believe that because they have money and they can divorce easier, that they're actually in a better off position than those who had to learn to make it work.
I mean, it goes back to what we said earlier. Don't nobody want to make it work. And money doesn't make you make it work.
And that's true, because to be
honest,
honest,
if I'd
got this, let's say they gave me money when let's say I was one of these teenagers who got money from playing football.
You'll be married with Thingy.
What do you mean?
No.
The first time my mum tells me something, what do you mean? What? Pardon? You're talking to me? I talk to my mum like, are you mad? You know how much money I'm making?
You're telling my mum, I got disrespect mum money right now.
What do you mean? I will slap you with £50 and you'll say thank you, sir.
I've got disrespect my parents' money right now.
What do you mean? I will be so disrespectful.
Because, to be fair, you probably wouldn't.
Out of emotion, when I'm angry.
When I'm angry, you just act out because
I would act out because I got the money to bounce. So now you can't hold the money over my head, right?
No.
So if let's say I had to get... Because there was definitely times as a teenager, I thought, oh, if I had money, I could just leave home and I'd be fine and blah, blah, blah. I could make my own way, forget all of this. I would never have learned certain skills. I never would have learned to be respectful or anything.
And by the way, that
because
money would have killed
the
you.
money to cover
And you're going to spend the money anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you won't learn the tools. And that's why what I wanted to say was, I really hope you are happy with your marriage right now, right here where it is. With all its flaws and all its broken plates and all the thing that doesn't look pretty, I'm happy.
Oh, do you know what? Right now, bro, God needs to bring the money now because we in a good place. Right?
Yeah, this gonna be good.
We good now. We good.
What I'm saying is that good is not going to be determined by how much you earn.
Facts.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Wow.
The good in the marriage should not be determined by the money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying marry a man who has no ambition or whatever the terms are these days. But don't think money is going to make happiness. My parents are happy. I don't think they had money their entire life. But where they drove their happiness from was from raising 5 children who they can see on TV today, in this place tomorrow, or that place. That's where their pride and joy is. My dad told me one time, he said when he came to London, how he was broke and he had to work from Hackney to South London to work. He had to walk to work.
Okay.
And, times were hard and, he saw an advert for a church and dealing with immigration. So he said he'll go and visit the church. He told my mum, because my mum was stressed. And so he said, look, he was trying to be the man. I will handle this. So he went to church. And he said the first thing he realized was there was people like him in the church. And, he said they were praying. And one man was like to him, listen, you're new here. Boom, boom, boom. Drove him home and gave him £10. That time in the 80s, a motherfucker gives you £10. He down there gave you £1,000.
Wow. And
he couldn't believe that. And he said, how did you find your experience in the church? He said, well, no one really welcomed me when I came in, but I appreciated the service and whatnot. He said, by the time I got there the next week, people were shaking hands at the door.
Wow.
And I said, a brother came in and he said he wasn't even welcomed by anybody. And we're calling ourselves Christians. We need to change that. He said from that day on, from the day he stepped into the church, things changed in his life. Wow. That's why they're Christians today. And he said to me, Funmbi, I now said to myself, no Nigerian who comes to this country will suffer as long as I'm in their life.
Wow.
So uncles and aunties will come from Nigeria. They will get a room in our little 3-bedroom flat, and they'll be doing. They said they arrive on Thursday. They'll be doing a cleaning job in the morning with my dad by 6 o'clock the next day. He'd hook them up with a cleaning job and get them on their feet because he knew how hard it was when he got through here. That's life.
So they can just stay for like 2 weeks and
still
be there in 3 months' time.
Right, because they come over I don't know what the deal was them times.
Yeah.
But I think it was a lot of student visas.
Oh, hella student visas.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I wrote that joke. It's like,
my stepdad was
right.
a big proponent of that.
That's why I was like,
yeah, the college.
That's why I wrote that joke. It's like when they're going to Calais and all these places saying they're trying to stop immigrants coming in. I'm like, most of them come by plane. And that's how my uncles came. Like, you need to go to Heathrow. But
yeah, they stopped giving out all them student visas like that, you know.
Yeah,
now they check the institutions.
Yeah, just
everyone's coming over here to come and do auxiliary nursing.
Just come on your cousin's passport. They don't check that. Anyway,
this guy,
bruv, if we could release some secrets. Anyway, and so for me, lessons like that are worth more than gold. In the sense where I take a gem, I take an understanding of how you treat human beings, and it will come back. So when my dad turned 70th, he didn't spend a penny on anything because everybody wanted to return.
Man had wealth in the
community.
roof
I told you about.
Yeah.
A member of his church said, "I'm going to pay it for you."
Wow.
Yeah, he said, because what you've done in my life is more.
I can't drop 10K on another man's roof.
You can if they've been more than 10K to you. If I had 10K and you asked me to do your roof, I'd do your roof.
Give me that level of giving.
But if you will do. But he's at that level of giving. But what my dad did in his life was so poor. Think of what my dad must have done for him.
I'm sure it's fantastic. No, to be honest, I was mainly saying I can't do it because I was talking about how small-minded I am with the money in my hand now.
Yeah,
obviously.
But you don't know where God's taking you.
Of course,
and I pray when you do get to that place, you won't hold on to that 10K.
Amen.
You know,
Amen.
Because we can do that.
Yeah.
My dad went to him to ask for the money.
Yeah.
Because he said, I don't have it now, but I'll pay this. Don't worry about that. What you've done in my life is worth more than that.
That's amazing.
He said he put the money in his account by Wednesday. I was looking at my dad like, 10K!
Yeah, bro. 10K dropping your account. You start shaking.
Stop it. But what I learned there and then was, if you're pastor of a church, be involved in your members' lives. Because my dad drew the immigrants.
Yeah.
No papers, but he'll be in court with them. He'll make sure their bills are you're not hungry for bills. When I told you one of the majors in Nigeria was here, as a major in Nigeria, he's major in the army. He came over here to study. He wasn't working out. Nigerians are very proud. It's like, uncle, let me go home and, try something. In that time, these are educated men, but they're getting their lights cut off. There's no heating in the house because they can't work. As a man, you feel like, and you've got 2 kids, you're like, I don't need this. So he's like, uncle, let me go back home. He's like, okay, try your best. There was one time they had no heat in the house, and my dad came home, and there was all the electricities in his house were gone. Like, where the electric here is? They're like, oh, Major took them because there's no heating in their house. Call the church accountant. How much is your heating bill? £400. Please sort that out for them. Wow. This is what your members need. More time we go to churches where our pastors are pulling up in Bentleys, and you can't even call them. You can't say nothing. You can't get a prayer. You can't get nothing. And you need that connection because you're following this guy. So people had access to my house. I was pissed off. You ever come home from uni, you're trying to get your porn on or watching GTA? You got uncle praying in your room.
My goodness.
I had to deal with all of that shit. And so when he went to Nigeria, he became the president's head of security.
No way.
Yeah, imagine that, Allah.
No way.
Allah.
Nigerian stories
Allah, any role
bad.
in the presidential cabinet, you on the come up.
Bro, what you mean?
Because the amount of money they're going to give you just to meet the president. The man paid for my sister's wedding. Wow. And I'm saying this to understand, when you're true to people, you won't see your reward today. You won't see maybe in 10 years, but when it comes, you'll be like, what have I done to deserve this? And you won't even remember. The power is in the people. You invest in people, you will never be broke. Ever. You will never be broke.
Bro, you preach.
Now, you might not have money in your account.
Nah, but he was rich in the community, though.
And that's riches untold, rude boy.
Bro, you just preached the whole words. That's fired me up. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, and like you said, and I'm glad when you said, God, give me the strength to have that giving power. And I said, I hope when you do get there, you won't hold on to that 10K. I know what it was like when I was going through pandemic and I was broke as hell. And I would ask someone for money and I feel like, man, this is my life. And then I've worked 5 weekends in a row, Allah.
Are you up now? I'm up right now. You know what I'm saying?
My friend asked me for money and I lent it to her.
Okay.
But I'd never asked for it back.
Okay,
because I said to myself, I told myself, you never lend people money that you're not willing to say goodbye to.
Facts.
And 2, I remember what it was when I was that way. And I don't need to ask her back for that. because I knew what she was going through as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be that person that understands. It's about investing in people, caring, genuinely caring, showing yourself to be available for their support.
Yeah.
Without no strings attached.
Yeah.
You know?
In a different world without a porn addiction, you could have been a pastor, bro.
You're a dickhead. You're an absolute dickhead. You're an absolute dickhead.
Bro, you got half of people,
because
man.
I do believe you can have a porn addiction and still be a pastor. You just can't say in the pulpit. This morning I was
you can't be.
I was dipping the water.
Bro, can you imagine they hook up the pastor's laptop to the projector so you can put your PowerPoint presentation?
You thought that before. You thought that was some bullshit. That's cold.
I just thought that now.
You know them ones where you're not even looking, you don't realize you're still trying to scroll through your. Oh shit! Ain't this the devil is a liar.
You start typing Peter, search up Psalms.
Imagine someone goes in there trying to get the first Peter chapter, no, Peter chapter 5. But as you're typing Peter smashes Jezebel. What? Peter nigga doing Bible porn in this motherfucker. Woo! You know, Samson and Delilah, yeah?
Nah, it's a
yeah,
wrap.
In all honesty, man, I think like Park was trying to be a people's person, and the world drags you left, right, and center. You know,
Yeah.
to the point where you take advantage of the people you're even trying to save.
Yeah, I feel like with different people, there's different approaches, right? So some people who try and obviously be that charismatic leader and try and, you know, they're the ones that basically become like cult leaders. Then there's some people that are like soldiers and they like want to fight everybody's battle. But yours is like you want to build relationship. From what I'm understanding from what you're saying, it's like you think you should genuinely have real relationships with people, such that you can be of use to them in the small and short term, but in the case of like relationships for the long term. And I think that approach is beautiful. I still think we obviously need those advocates and those freedom fighters
of course.
charismatic leaders and stuff.
Just want, I don't know, when people say, I remember Sandra said at Sunday service one time, she goes, you're just trained for, you just always want black people to win.
Yeah.
And I'm still in that mode, but I think when we always want black people to win, it's always celebrities. Okay. It's always famous people. Okay. We don't care about nothing until a famous person goes through it. We Saka misses a penalty and we see racial abuse. Now racial abuse is a problem, but we go through that every day.
Every day.
We do.
I'm working from home, bro. If you abuse me over Zoom, bro,
what I'm saying is we can't always just wait for celebrities to be in pain before we realize, hey man, my friend got really abused by her husband on the weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. Serious shit.
Bro, there's a lot of stuff going on with your friend.
And that's why I say I'm in a place where I want to help these people heal through my stories, through their experiences. Because these things are needed. Because people don't see black people go through this stuff. And it's a thing where she's told the police and they're just dilly-dallying. In a world where we care about women and protective and, any kind of domestic abuse, but they don't handle domestic abuse until she's damn near in a coma.
Yes, it's a tough thing to prosecute.
It's a tough thing to, and it's because it's a man's world.
I'm not so sure about
that. I'm 100% sure about that. Because the truth is this. If someone put hands on my sister, I'm not waiting for the system. We're going to have to discuss it man to man.
Yeah, I understand that.
And that's the problem.
I think I think the fact that there is some support, at least for women who've been victims of domestic violence. There are shelters they can go to. There are hotlines.
Have you seen these places?
I haven't, no. But what I'm saying is that there is some help. I think there's one men's domestic violence.
But who cares about men's domestic violence? I'm not talking about men's. I'm talking about a woman who's been abused, because men abuse more, women more.
But that's the thing. They don't.
They do.
They don't.
They do.
They pretty much abuse at the same rates.
Women are more physically abused more than men.
But what I'm saying is, okay, well, you just changed it to physically.
That's why I said it was a physical attack, though.
But I just said they abuse at the same level. And what I'm saying is that even though women don't have the physical strength all the time, even though sometimes they still do use physical
I'm talking
strength,
of a case.
I'm saying that we are of the impression that it happens more to women, or that this is a women's issue, whereas this is a relationship issue.
Well, I don't care whose issue it is. In this situation,
the highest level of domestic violence is actually in lesbian couples.
Okay, but in this situation, a man has choked a woman. Okay,
Yeah.
how
I-
do
I-
we handle that?
I
is
don't
my
doubt
question.
that part. I'm not arguing that. I'm just,
That's all I care about.
it's
I don't
just the
care about
fact that you said
statistics
it's a
and
man's
that.
world or something. I don't
It
think
is
it's
a man's
gender
world.
issue.
That's why a lot of the reason why is
I don't
because of
think
a
it's a
man's
gender
world.
issue.
It's definitely a gender issue. When it's a
I
man's
disagree
world,
on that.
you get away with shit. When it's
so sure
tailored
of
to
that.
you, 100%, 100%.
All right.
Because the
we'll
way,
have to agree to
because
disagree on
because
that
the
one.
truth is, if it's not, then why is it not handled? Why is it difficult to prosecute?
It's difficult to prosecute because there's very little evidence most of the time.
What, for someone choking you?
Yeah, unless there's contusions on your neck.
Oh, so if I choked out a white woman, there's no, I'm not gonna get any issues for that.
I'm saying it's very hard to prove. It's
If I
very hard
choked
to
out a white
prove.
woman, you think it's hard
Yeah.
to prove?
I mean, in that situation, like, one could say, all right, then maybe the she could win the public vote in terms of public vote sympathy.
Okay, so
or public court and so on.
if
But in terms
someone
of for
choked out
the
my
police,
sister and I pulled up and stomped him out in his face, am I gonna be hard to prove as well?
if you stomp on his face, there's gonna be marks in his face.
If you choke a woman out by her throat, there's gonna be marks on her neck.
Yeah, no,
Why do you
not
think I
all
called the
time.
police for cake? So what you're saying to me is we have to give someone the benefit of the doubt. She's lying or
I'm
something like
I'm
that?
saying that for the police, they've got a specifically tough job in
How?
in some crimes that don't always have marks or don't always have obvious
I
evidence.
think that's a cop out.
It's easy to say from
It's a
here,
cop out
but you
because police have no problem stopping black kids on a whimp, on a hunch.
know,
So I
yeah,
don't understand why it's hard to prosecute someone that's been attacked. If you can pull over a kid because he's wearing a hoodie, what's the basis on that? There's no tough job
I'm
there.
not saying that's good policing either. I'm
Right.
saying-
So if you can do that, surely you can use the common sense in that aspect. It's the same black person, just charge
But, yeah,
him.
but in the vast majority of cases, if a woman calls, even if sometimes in some cases, if a man calls and says, "Look, my wife is hitting me," they'll first of all put the man in handcuffs because the presumed aggressor is usually the man anyway, because of things, the same myths that you just spoke about in terms of like, oh, it happens to women more, or men, it's a man's issue in terms of the crime being committed.
I said it's a man's world.
Yeah, you said it's a man's world, but I said it's not a gender issue, and you said it definitely is a gender issue. So I'm saying,
What do you mean it's a gender issue? I don't think definitely domestic abuse is a gender issue. I think the handling of it is a gender issue. I think men are allowed to get away with more.
I don't think so. I think women
Okay.
are definitely allowed to get away with more. I think
In
most
terms
cases,
of violence and abuse?
yes. I think when men report violence and abuse, they're more likely to be laughed at or not believed than a woman. I think most people would rally around a woman who says that my husband hit me. If a woman said, they do all these tests and show them.
Yeah,
like,
this is the thing, man. And this is why I don't watch
No.
tests and shows.
It's
It's like we base all these things
No,
on
but I'm saying
tests
these-
and statistics
you can-
and
you can-
all of that. It's
What,
like
you mean
these
facts?
are different, not facts, individual cases.
No, but what I'm
The
saying,
fact is this.
why is
The
it, why
fact
is it an
this.
individual case
Because it's
when
always
it
an
doesn't
individual
support your
case.
argument, but
No,
it's
no.
perfectly reasonable when it does?
When did I use in facts and figures to support my argument?
No, you just said these are what you just were using was an individual case to prove your point.
No,
right?
no, there's no point here. What I'm saying is
Okay.
my friend was choked by her ex.
Yeah,
or
that
whatever.
part we don't.
That's
disagree on
all
that.
I'm here for. The rest, whether it's a man's issue or not, is irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
Okay, but
Whether
that's
it's
the
a
part that
woman
we were
issue, it's
disagreeing on.
irrelevant. Because it's irrelevant to me.
All right, but you were very clear on the fact that you have a very strong belief in this. Even when I said
I have a
we
very
agreed
strong
to disagree,
belief that when women
kept
are
on
attacked,
going on this point.
it's a man's world and you're able to get the benefit of the doubt. It's treated with kids' gloves. I believe that, yes.
all right, fair enough.
I
And
believe
that's where we
that because
disagree.
I see certain times where it's just like we're not paying attention. We're just acting like, yeah, but what did she say? What happened? How did we get here?
What, as in like investigating the crime?
Not investigating the crime, just thinking she must have asked for it.
Okay, so
There is an element of feeling that she must have asked for this ass whooping. It couldn't have just happened.
okay, but all right, fair enough. Yeah, do you
It
know what?
couldn't-
At
it
this
couldn't
point,
be
we're
just-
not gonna,
and I'm
we're
not
gonna-
saying that there isn't an element of that. What I'm saying is the point is this: when hands are involved, it's a different level. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because here's the thing: if someone choked out someone that was close to you, you will feel the innate feeling to retaliate, to go and do something about that, especially if the system's not doing anything about it. And that's when you open up the doors to extreme violence.
Okay.
And that's why I'm saying at least pay attention, sort it out. That's all I'm saying.
I'm to be honest, I think I get you, but I just think in general, like, if
What I'm saying is this: it's not about, you made it about men versus women. It's not about that.
only because you said that the reason why the guy wasn't being addressed properly is because he's a man. I don't
It
think
is,
that's
but why is it
that's
not?
true.
Why is it not being?
Because I don't think it's the case that when women are smacking men up, Like they're
Why
just
do you have to make
figuring
it about
out.
that though? That's the thing.
No,
Why
but
are
I'm
you making
comparing
it
it to
about
show
men
you-
and women? Because what I'm saying is, look at the Epstein's, the Prince Philip, for instance, and Bill Cosby and all these people.
Yeah.
They were doing that for years.
That's a rich man's world.
Fair enough, but they were still doing it for years. When the women came forward, it was common that you'd be victim blamed, you'd be said that you were looking for it, and so they shut the voices down. You cannot deny that element.
Yeah, I definitely
So
believe
that's
that.
why I mean,
definitely believe
these
that
things
rich
fall
men have
into
a
the-
sway on things.
Of course, but they're still men.
No, but that's the thing. When you now say it's,
But
when
you're not a
you now
rapist,
introduce the fact that they're men, like they might all have brown eyes. Like the fact that they're men doesn't actually have a bearing on it. I think in fact, even with the poor conviction rates in some of these crimes, the fact that they're men is actually one of the things that women have going for them. I think in terms of you're more likely to get a man convicted for domestic violence than you are to get a woman convicted. So I'm saying
But
that
it's not about
this-
that, though.
using this as
But it's
proof
not
that it's a
about that,
man's
though.
world.
But it's not
It
about
doesn't really
that, though.
follow.
What I said was the reason men get privilege. Men get allowed to do bullshit to the point where it's too much. They do.
I think okay.
They do.
Let you
I just
finish.
believe they do. Men are allowed to do to take advantage. You see in the way men talk. You see in the way men behave. Even the idea that you could just walk up to a woman and slap her on the ass. It's taking
You
advantage,
can do that. Who's doing this?
bruv.
You can't do that. We
can.
know this.
You can't. It's not supposed to, but men will do it.
Yeah, men will do it, but that doesn't mean that.
So
you
what
can-
I mean-
you-
but
I'm
here's the
saying, I'm
thing,
saying that
but what
men-
I'm saying is
people
people get
know that
justified
people
as
know that
banter,
murder is wrong, and people still go out and kill, right?
Yeah.
So people are gonna do wrong. I get that
Yeah,
part.
but what I'm saying
the
is
idea that
it's
it,
the
like,
treatment after it, though. Like, for instance, if a girl gets pregnant in the church, the guy doesn't get vilified. She does.
okay,
And that's
Yeah,
what I
we
mean.
switch-
Those,
we switch
no, I
issues
mean
now.
those elements of allowing men to get away with stuff translate into that.
I'm saying that if you zero in on like a situation where some guy grabbed the girl's bum and nothing really happened to him, yes, you can come up with this idea that men just have these privileges. If you could also do the exact same thing with things that women are allowed to get away with, that they do all the time, like
But
paternity
why-
fraud, for example.
Okay, so again,
No, but
I'm
no,
not
don't do the big
making
side.
it
What's wrong with what I just
men
said?
versus women. It's not
I'm-
men versus
no, but
women.
I'm using the women's side to prove that it's not because they're men. It's just the fact that in this world there are certain things which is in our interest to, like there's some things that when they want to go to war and so on, they'll just use the flimsiest excuse, blah blah blah. But in the grand scheme of things, if you are actively trying to prosecute or convict somebody for a crime, there are some that are just going to be harder than others. And it's got nothing to do with the fact that they're a man or whatever it is. Now, there are some situations in which, people say stuff like, oh, boys will be boys and blah, blah, blah. And to be honest, like, in that situation, I can kind of get what you're saying, but I don't think that it's this privilege that it's like, that this privilege kind of insinuates that it's a unilateral amount of power given to one person. I just believe we all have a range
I
of
do
things in this
believe we
world.
all have a range of privileges. I do.
We all
And
have.
some are stronger than the other. Some are more beneficial than the other. But you can't deny the privileges there.
So okay. So your point is that we all have privileges, but men have the privilege to beat women and get away with it.
No, I didn't say beat women and get away with it, but beat women and give them the benefit of the doubt to see how this happened, and almost just leave it. No
Yeah,
real
but
repercussions or dealing with it.
But my point is, everybody gets that.
Not everybody.
That's not
no.
specifically male privilege.
It is when you're.
If a woman slaps a man, people are gonna ask, "What did he do?"
If a woman slaps a man,
They're
people are
gonna ask, "What did you do?"
Okay, but I'm
So
talking
everyone gets
of
that privilege.
Okay, but
And
I'm
men
talking
get it
of
less.
Okay, but I'm talking of this man choked out his baby mother. Okay,
Yeah.
how do we deal with that?
First thing, you remove him from that. If I was dealing with this,
I'm just
first
saying,
thing,
how
you
did
remove
the
him from
system
that.
deal with that? How does the system deal with that? She's called him up. She's
Yeah.
taken pictures. She's asked for evidence. She's pressed charges.
Yeah.
Why is he not arrested?
To be honest, I don't know why he's not.
I'm
arrested
just,
at this point.
putting why, because it's pretty damning what she's
Yeah.
had to deal with. Her security after that she's not dealing well. She's not feeling well.
They left him in the house with her.
No, they don't live together. But would you feel comfortable in on earth when you've just been chucked out on the floor? No.
No, of course not. But what I'm saying
Right.
is,
So what I'm saying
that
is, where is the protection? Where is the follow up? Where is the due diligence? Like, we have to make sure this is not one of those cases, because he's out. He can come back and kill her again.
of course, but you see, so what you're saying there, I get that 100%. We don't argue about that, right? That the fact that in terms of how they're handling this case, that this is still leaving the woman at harm. I don't believe he's been given any special treatment because he's a man, though. Because if he,
I don't think he's getting special treatment,
if,
but
that's
I
what I
do
mean, that's
believe
what
as a
privilege is.
man, when I say it's because he's a man, it's because it's like when I say it's because he's black. You see what I'm saying? It's like Bieber on Wizkid's song. Only
Whoa,
good.
bro,
I'm giving an example.
these ideas are- okay, yeah,
Bieber
go,
on
go,
Wizkid's song is only hype because Bieber's white.
No.
Yes,
Because he's one of the biggest artists in the world.
because he's white. Bieber's not the one of the best artists in the world. He's biggest because he's white. The only okay, who's a good look for, Bieber or Wizkid?
I think it's a good look for Bieber, actually.
I'm
think-
so glad you said that
I think-
because
I think
most
it
people
gives
seem
him
to
that
think it's a good look for
credibility.
Wizkid because we also automatically think as soon as a white person shows interest in our culture,
Yeah.
we've now arrived.
Well, it gives him new reach.
Right,
Yeah, that's
which
what
is
I would
not
concede.
which
yeah.
is not necessarily a good thing,
Okay.
right? So what I mean is, in that sense, he only gets that hype. Why? If they put Mace on them, the Wizkids on, no one would give a fuck. Even if it
Mace
was
would be weird though.
Mace, but you know, Justin
No, but-
Bieber was just as weird.
But if they put Usher on it, or like no, not Usher, because he's
Why not Usher? Usher broke Bieber. Why not Usher?
No, because
Why would that not
I'm talking
surprise
about-
you?
I'm talking about somebody like who's a black artist that's hot right now. That's like in America, an
J.
American.
Cole,
Black, I mean, it's not
Kendrick
really.
Lamar.
Yeah, if Kendrick Lamar was on it, it would still be like a.
But it
huge
wouldn't be
deal.
Bieber like this though, because
But-
Snoop has done it. All of them have done it.
I'm telling you.
So what I'm
personally,
saying is the reason why the source
when David
okay,
started
what I'm
doing
saying
tracks
is-
with Chris Brown, it
the
was a
reason-
big deal.
right, but not as big as this.
Yeah, because Justin Bieber's a bigger star.
He's white.
Okay,
He's
I mean,
white.
Yeah,
He's white. He is white.
I feel like that's
He's
a circular
white. Because
argument.
what I'm
because
saying is,
you're
for
always gonna
instance,
say
why
he's
does
bigger because
Eminem
he's white, and
why
I'm
does
saying-
Eminem sell more records than Jay-Z? Because he's white. Not that he's not a good rapper. Doesn't
Yeah.
take away from his rapping skills. That's
Yeah.
not his fault.
Yeah.
It's just that white people are gonna buy white music.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I say that to say when I say it's because he's a man, I'm not saying because men get to do what they want and be up. I'm saying when you're a man, there's that lamandad, that brotherhood, that protection that kicks in for men.
But I'm saying to you, I think if anything, men are more likely to stand up and weigh a man in for smacking a woman than women are to stand up when a woman's
they?
weighing in a guy. So
Are
I'm saying that
Are they?
if anything,
Are they?
this goes to show you that this is more about a poor policing procedure
Which
than
is
it is
poor,
to do
very,
about
very poor.
a male sort
So
of
then
privilege
why is the
that
poor
he's
business
getting.
because he's black?
I'm
Because they're a
saying,
black
I'm
couple?
saying because the police is limited. They're just very, very limited in their skill and an ability to. Most of the stuff that we watch, all these crime shows and stuff like that, that's all story and whatnot. In real life, most of them are just kind of, pencil pushing, typing out letters, kind of closing cases, and just saying, yeah, we can't really do anything, right? I've had my own experience. I remember the time someone stole my bike. I really thought the police were about to go investigate.
That's stupid, though.
I thought they were gonna go dust
That's
off
stupid,
the
though.
thing, take
That's
the
stupid.
fingerprints.
Not for your
So-
bike.
Bro, the bike
You were a
cost me
kid.
money. I was.
But what I'm
young.
saying is-
when they wrote me a letter and just said, "Oh yeah, there was no CCTV, we can't do anything. Sorry, your bike's gone." That's
What
when
I'm
I
saying is
realized
this.
that police. That's how police
if
is.
this how police handle a domestic abuse case, then you might as well just go and, if you get abused as a woman by a man, just go and get goons and beat him up.
That's what a lot of people do.
There's no people don't do that.
A lot of people do they're not goons, but they get their brother or something. There'll be brothers that'll go and handle the situation.
That's not gonna. That shouldn't have to be that though.
It shouldn't. But at the same time, there are so many. If they did that exactly what we want to do in this situation, right? Because I don't know the situation. I'm taking what you said as the gospel. That's what happened, right? But there are so many cases in which somebody can then basically misuse that. So then police go, all right, we have to come up with some kind of procedure. We have to investigate, check this.
I'm
blah,
not
blah,
disputing
blah.
that.
And
I'm not
somebody
saying
can just
don't do
say,
your due
you know what, he
diligence.
hit me, and that's it. And
I'm not
already the
saying
guy's
don't
gonna get
do your
arrested.
due diligence. What I'm saying is, it is a bit what's the word, slack.
Of course, it's slack.
And she's made a complaint, and they
We're
said
not
there's no
we're
further
not disagreeing
updates.
on it being
And
slack.
it's like wow. And
But the
because-
police don't have the resources to be
Why
really
not?
doing
Why
investigation
not?
like this.
Why not?
Bro, I mean, if we're
No,
gonna
I
go
want to
into
ask. Why don't they have the
policing
resources?
reform,
Why don't they have the resources? They have the resources to stop me on the street every other day.
bro, that's easy.
They have
That's
the
cheap.
resources to operate in Trident. They have the resources to vilify black people as knife crime with us. Why
Yes.
don't they have the resources to sort that out?
Bro,
What we paying tax money for?
I mean, bro, I can follow you down these questions as well and agree with you, man. Like it needs to be better. I think we can all agree in some shape or form that police like have often disappointed us at different points in terms of how they're able to assess crimes or convict someone of something. But I think also, you know, to just put that point to bed, what we were discussing before, I think specifically in the case of domestic violence, I don't think there really is any male privilege in this situation.
If what's it called? If it was a celebrity, if Chris Brown beat up Rihanna, we would have the resources. We know how to deal with Chris Brown and cancel his career.
Bro,
am I lying?
You saw Rihanna's face, bro.
Oh, so because you saw Rihanna's face, did you see my friend's
Of course, bro. Did you not see?
Did you see my
Who
friend's
was it that had the joke about that? About how the fact that like, it's like when you see the video, it makes it worse.
I think it was Bill Burr that said they always show that face of Rihanna.
No, not just that. But it wasn't just about Rihanna. I think it was like, they had a joke about how there was another celebrity who beat up his wife and everybody let it slide. And then the video leaked and everyone was like, you monster. How could you do that? I can't remember. It was like he beat his wife up in the elevator and like dragged her out by her hair or something.
He didn't beat her. He didn't beat her. Oh, there was two of them.
Oh, wow.
One, he knocked her out and dragged her out the elevator.
Mad.
I think
Who was
one, that was the football player.
Yeah.
I think he sparked her and she passed out, but she was fighting him though.
Yeah.
And by the way, she didn't leave. She said, "I'm good. I woke up in the bath in the hot tub.
I just want to wake up in my mansion.
But
naked in my mansion."
But when Jay-Z was the incident with Jay-Z and Solange, we weren't happy.
Bro, what happened to Solange, bro?
Yeah,
what consequences did she get for smacking man up?
Jay-Z
like
cheated, man. He deserved that.
But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he did.
So if a woman cheated, does she deserve to get smacked up?
In the lift, yeah. As long as it's in the lift.
Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to wrap that up.
But the truth is this, though. As a man, the truth is this, though.
You can't say that,
it's
bro.
different for men and women, though. You can't beat up a woman for cheating on you. You can't.
But I'm saying nobody deserves.
But a woman can beat up a man for cheating on her.
I don't agree with that.
You know why?
No.
Do you know if Jay-Z had slapped Solange, it would have changed the whole dynamic of that lift conversation?
Why?
Why?
But because everybody is biased on this issue.
Because she's a woman.
Yes.
And if Jay-Z's 6'2", 6'7", 6'5",
yeah,
you want him to backhand her?
No, what I'm saying is
those kicks didn't hurt.
You just contradicted your point.
No,
because you're proving my point that most people will not give a man a blie for smacking a woman, but a woman can smack a guy. We can watch it on tape, and we can. I ran jokes.
No. A woman cannot smack a guy. Solange can kick Jay-Z. They're celebrities.
Women can smack.
We're civilians. We're civilians.
They do all these. So I know you don't watch social experiments.
I do not do social experiments,
but they do.
But women can't smack
all the time. Even if a guy is getting slightly aggressive to a woman in public, men will form up, women will stand up, everyone will be like, "This is not okay." Yet we can watch a man getting smacked by his wife, and people will giggle. People will be like, "I wonder what he did," and people will be like,
"I mean, I don't subscribe to that."
That's what happens.
I don't subscribe to that. I don't believe a woman should put her hands on a man. I don't believe you should provoke them most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be looking for the buttons, wanting to get hit. I don't believe that. But at the same time, I honestly believe no matter what the situation, as a man, you need to leave.
Yeah.
You know, and even as a man,
I don't think you should even argue with.
To be fair, no, I don't think. No, you know what it is. You can always argue.
I don't think you should argue.
But remember that time I told you about that Snapped episode where that girl picked up a knife and just was waving it.
Yeah.
She didn't even actually stab the guy.
Bro,
she got to the police station thinking, you know, we just argued, we do this all the time. And they were like, he's dead. And she could not believe it. Because she didn't mean to kill him, but in the heat of rage, these things happen. Bro. Even him, I'm sure, because I don't think he's ever done that before. I don't think he's ever done that before. But they were having, you know, whatever. Yeah. And you got to that point.
Yeah, bro. But that's why I said I don't believe you should even argue. I think from the moment it starts to turn into an argument, you should walk away. And I think
like a heated argument.
I'm saying an argument. It really should never even really be an argument. I think the moment you get to the point where you're arguing with a woman, you've already lost. As a man, there's no win in this. There's no W you're taking from this scenario.
Well, that's a woman's privilege, then, isn't it?
Of course, it's definitely one of them. Women definitely have way more latitude to express their emotions as they feel. I felt that way, so I did it. That's a woman's prerogative in this world. A man, you can't say you felt away, so you did something.
But you look what we get away with, though. We get to cheat. We get to destroy nations.
You see, man,
we get to kill people.
Bro,
we get to smash chicks in a menage a trois, and everyone's like, "You the man."
Bro, is this what you're living for?
That's what I'm living. Is that what Insta's living for? Bro. Do you not see in the music videos? It's ridiculous how they put their lips on us. 4 girls on your dick. I'm looking like a king. Isn't that what we glorify?
No.
Yes, it is. Wasn't that what everyone's killing themselves for? I pull up in a Bugatti for what? The diamonds, the chains, and all that for what?
I think the vast majority of people are just trying to get married to one woman and like have kids.
Nigga, please.
The vast majority.
The vast majority of them want to live an MTV live music video.
No, I think we can all watch that in the same way
Bro,
that we watch a movie and then go back to our real life.
My friend told me.
Why don't we all do that then? Why
what?
have I got a wife out in the house and I got 2 kids?
Can't afford it, bro.
Are you serious? You think that's the only reason I'm not doing it?
I would hate for us to hit the lotto tomorrow.
You think I'd really be out here doing this?
Bro,
Ridiculous.
Man. You know what? Yeah. You know what? Do you know what? Yeah. I always said when you say this is them. Someone will say to you, it's because you've never been in that position before.
No, facts. I get that.
I know as a comedian what it's like just to smash the comedy store and, you know, a couple girls say, can I take a picture of you? Like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go home feeling good. I don't know what it's like to come off stage and say, I want to suck your dick while you tell me that routine again. I don't know what I'm going to have to say on that part. And Ola, the same way you pray that you don't, that when that God can give you that 10 grand giving, I sometimes I pray, God, don't put me in that position. Because I don't want to let you down.
What if she wants you to recite Hellraiser? All that motivation is inside.
Can you imagine you come
like,
off stage, you're in a tour in Australia, you smashed it, you're doing your own, it's the Ola tour, name, hat and everything. The brand is on point. You did a radio station before you came in. You come off stage and 2 girls saying, me and Sarah are doing, we love that routine about, we're both having a competition that who's the best dick sucker and we want to practice on you. You're just like, God, help me right now.
Oh, well, yeah, of course I asked the Lord to help me, but I know I don't want that.
Huh?
I know I don't want that. Like there's a part of me that wants it, 100%.
Of course.
But I know deep down, in terms of the my
It's
life,
a
that's
30-day
not what I want
tour.
for my life.
It's not for your life. It's for that moment. I didn't say do it every day.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the vast majority of people don't want that for their life. They might want that.
So what you're saying for as a consistent lifestyle?
Yeah, nobody wants to
really?
live that. It's
nobody
ridiculous.
wants to live. It's ridiculous consistently.
Not that nobody does. Some people do, 100%. But I think the vast majority of people get to a point where they realize this is not the life I want to live.
Because they tapped out.
What, you think they're quitters?
They're quitters. It's because they realize. It's because when you hit 35 and reality don't hit your ass. Remember that earthquake joke? I like these older women. These young girls, they're too ambitious. I want to, you got to drive a Lexus. They can't even ride a Lexus. It's I like them 35, 30, where reality don't hit their ass, man. I'm just looking for a man that's just looking for a job. So we tap out. Because when we were in our young 20s, I thought I'd have a limo by the time I was 25. Why did I think that?
Limos are very, very impractical.
That time. Like, I'm going to have me 4 limos. Why? I couldn't even drive at the time. Now, you hit 30, I'm going to wake up in my new Bugatti. You know, what's it called? We don't even equate these things.
By
Did
40,
you see
you're like,
what
my
I
car's
done?
going to start today.
Right. Yeah. Did you see what I done? Came in the black Benz, left in the white one. You don't ask yourself, what happened to the black Benz?
one? I always ask that question.
So what happened to the black
always
Benz?
like, yo,
and also,
is there congestion charge?
How
Did
did
you pay
you
for parking?
pull up with a white Benz and then leave in the black? Was the black one already there when you got there? Because then technically you put up in the black Benz, went home to get the white one, and then came back and then left with the black Benz. It just sounds cool when you slick talk it.
Of course.
And or you know, when men were like, you weren't with me shooting in the gym, and men's well, you know, they've never been to a gym. They're not in the NBA. But they're putting girl, you weren't with me shooting in the gym. What
It's a
gym?
metaphor, bro.
It is a metaphor, but we carry these personas like this
Of
is real
course,
life.
of course.
By the way, the guy who said you weren't with me shooting in the gym, Rick Ross, you go gym. Win, right?
I know, that was too funny.
Too funny. It was so funny.
He
He set himself up for it. I don't care how. Metaphorically speaking, you should have said, you weren't with me down in these buckets. You should have gone up that road. Because you weren't in the gym. And also, he's the same person that did the Molly lyric. And they slowed his shit down swiftly.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, in our bids to be that.
Yeah, but my point is, right, a good example. I'm glad you brought this up. In that lyric, everyone rallied around to say we are not accepting this. No, not everyone, but everyone, all the people that.
Hey, first of all, I didn't even know what it meant.
What I put Molly all in a drink
I
and
didn't know.
she didn't
Remember,
know
we're older, innit?
Okay.
Our choice of drug in the music was weed.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's what we were accustomed to.
Yeah.
My brother actually said to me, because a lot of black people take Molly now.
Oh yeah.
Because it's in their music. In our music, it was champagne.
It was kind of Miami popular.
Right. In our music, it was champagne. That's why I love those drinks. It's ridiculous. I don't know why I keep going to that line. It just sounds so stupid. Like, it's ridiculous how they put their lips on us. Because people really think that's life.
Don't kiss right there,
girlfriend. I'm ticklish. The brains goes down. The temperatures you're talking about. Hey, the baby, that's shady. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
But it's not life.
But yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say. Like, it sounds cool when everybody fantasizes about that. Have you seen these new videos?
Fantasy.
Have you seen these videos from these youngsters? These new videos, the new generation of grime artists.
Yeah.
You give them 20 grand. First thing they're going to do is hire a nice car.
Yeah.
Get bottles and girls all over the car.
I don't doubt that these are fantasies.
But I'm just saying, why is that is that still?
The fantasy is just to have more and more dopamine
excess.
released.
It's excess. So it's not one girl, 7 girls.
Of course.
It's not one drink, it's 10 drinks.
Yeah, that's what they always talk about, like how many records, how many platinum plaques they got, how many girls they've had, how many people they've killed. It's always about having more. In the grand scheme of things, most people are happy once like somebody cares about them.
Oh, I don't. You know what? I think people come to that realization.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm saying this as a 34-year-old.
I think initially you're thinking once we get together, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Because I was watching Brandy's life story.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man, it was difficult, man. Fame, man.
Really? I thought she's been fairly problematic free.
Right. You would think that, wouldn't you? And that was what killed her.
Wow.
The idea to be goody two shoes.
Wow, Brandy.
Yeah, if you know you like sucking dick at 16, you gotta let it out. You know why? Because the moment what happened was this: she had a good girl image.
Yeah,
but she's a girl. She's 16, 16-year-olds in an industry with hot men, and she's a star. Remember, she was dating Wanya Morris, and he was 21 at the time. So after Wanya Morris, she dated Ronnie Jenkins' cousin. Cute dude. He was working on the album in the studio.
Oh man, cute, bro.
No, it was a handsome dude.
Okay,
and what I mean is, you're right, handsome dude. And what I mean is, can you imagine Brandy to us, or Aaliyah to us, or Jada Pinkett, Beyonce? Yeah. These were babes. We could, oh man, these hot girls and they're stars. Yeah. But
man, we're running through these girls
in the studio. In the studio, because you're in the same world with these people. So you got basketball players or whatever.
Yeah.
So she was dating, or she was seeing Ronnie Jenkins' cousin, who was a producer at the time.
Oh,
and I said he was good looking because imagine you're a young man, you're good looking, and then you're a producer making beats. You're a fanny magnet, right? Now he cooks up with Brandy, probably who I'm thinking she might have been a virgin. I don't know, but she was no more than 17, 18, maybe 19, 20. I can't remember. Maybe as a teenager anyway, and she got pregnant. She got pregnant. Why do you think she got pregnant?
High emotions.
They had sex. Good sex. Probably in the stew. During the album. Whatever. Freaky stuff. Whatever. But she got pregnant. Yeah. And what's the first thing they did? They thought of her career. You're going to break your good girl image. So what did they have to do? They forced a marriage on her. She's all on Oprah. Everything. I love him. And how long do you think that lasted? And then she had to come on Oprah. And she was crying, man. Like years later saying, and I was afraid of my career, so I made all that up. Wow. What made me laugh was the same Oprah where she announced the wedding.
My
God.
Same
Oprah where she said it was a lie.
Oprah playing both sides.
What do you think I said after that? It's a dirty game.
It's a dirty game, yo. Oprah cold. Oprah like, Oprah be at your wedding party like, only for the divorce, yeah?
Oprah was looking at her like, so you made that up? I was like, but she knew she made it up. We knew damn well that wasn't real. They had the mum there, Ola. Wow. They had the boy in the audience. And when he was speaking, you could tell he wasn't even confident about this. They forced a marriage on her. Wow. So she had to deal with those pieces. Wow. Yeah, at a young age, she was crying. You know when you see the realness in someone?
Yeah.
You could see how it was a burden for her because everybody made the decision that you have to be pure, where nobody was pure.
But still, she made the decision to be getting raw dogged at that age, bro.
Bro, first of all, she didn't make a decision to get raw dogged at that age. We don't know what happened, but the thing is they had sex, which happens with teenage couples all the time.
I know.
But the problem is our idea and our ability, our mindset to fix things because of what people say kills it. Like when my friend got pregnant in the church, all we were concerned with what other people say.
But what would have happened if she didn't marry him?
She would have been in a better position than in terms of her heartache and the relationship she had with men since then. She'd be in a better position then.
So why didn't she pick that?
Because she was afraid of that. They said she was going to lose her career.
So why not lose the career?
At 16, 15, a career that you spent so hard to build, and you don't know whether another album's coming. You think you have the foresight to make the right decision? Hell no. You think Michael Jackson was making decisions in his career as a kid?
I'm not saying that whether you have the foresight or not. I'm just saying everybody has their choices.
Of course, but at the time when there's so many choices in life where you could have picked a better road, but you picked a stupid choice because you figured the time when you went to Kevin Hart's O2 to go and hang out with the Bus Cut boys.
The Bus Cut?
You had I was watching thinking we have a show to make hang with this bitch at these people. And I knew it wasn't going to get
that,
of course, but I knew it wasn't going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
Of course. So you had the choice to write. I could have said to you that night, if you'd written your you could be an MTV bass by now.
Of course.
But what I'm saying is at the time.
I'm not crying on Oprah about the fact that I went
no,
to the Kevin
but what
Hart
I'm
show.
saying is at the time, listen, at 16, 15, if you were in this comedy game and they presented you with a choice, you'd have made the wrong one.
Yeah, I might have made the wrong one, but I probably still wouldn't have been on Oprah crying about it. I would have just been like, oh, man, I took that L, man.
No, she did say she took the L, but she was crying at what she went through.
Yeah.
As to how she had to do that. That's where the crying was coming from.
Okay.
In the sense where all those years I was carrying this burden.
Of what? Being married to someone you didn't know?
No. Of telling the world we were getting married when it was a hoax.
Did they not actually get married then? Oh, I thought it was like they got married, but they were unhappy.
No. They didn't get married. They didn't even get that far. They was never going to get that far.
Wow.
Plus, he was having an affair with someone else already.
Of course he was. Man.
Of course he was. He's a producer.
What you mean, bro?
He has to produce.
He has
to produce. He's got beats to make.
I had to reproduce.
I have to remix it.
What did the remix to production?
Bruv.
That's the reproduction.
And I couldn't even blame him. I was like, this nigga's not ready for a marriage. Here's the thing. He could have happily been a baby father. He would have taken that world. But because he's the producer and she's on the forefront, and because women get vilified harder, should have lost a lot. Because she didn't come out like Little Kim. Now, if she had come out pregnant, we expected this. The new album would be called Pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
Now they done stop me and I get knocked up.
Think about it, Remember when Rihanna first came out? It was Girl Papanda on the Reap.
Yeah.
No. The moment she did the Gone Girl Gone Bad, it gave her the license to twerk.
Yeah, but here's my thing as well. Here's my thing. Because when we talk about this, we do have to also talk about the fact that, I don't want to start another podcast when we really should be wrapping up, but in when you have like the good girl image, right? We need good people on this earth. We need
what's a bad girl image?
The bad girl image that Rihanna showed you after Good Girl Gone Bad.
That's not bad though.
Well, clearly.
How is that a bad image? How? What's a good image? Bill Clinton? No. Obama? What's a good image?
Wait. When Rihanna sort of did her Good Girl Gone Bad thing, her whole image changed. Now, obviously, she starts dressing more provocatively
to sell records,
which, I mean, we can debate that if you really want to, but I don't think that's necessarily good for society. But hey, it sells her records. I can usually turn a blind eye to that, whatever. But then also there was all these, videos about her and sort of
nudes.
Not even the nudes. The nudes is even a whole nother story. But just like the diva attitude of like being rude to people and so on.
All images though, it's not real.
I mean,
just to sell
take that as you will, but either way, that's the image you're putting out, right? The image is that you're now this bad girl who doesn't care, and I'm saying like sometimes we do need the good girl people, and people often make it sound like when you have the good girl image, like it's a bad thing. Like when you get a chance to finally be the bad girl, now it's good. I feel like there's something very twisted and perverted about that. Why can't we just have wholesome stuff? Why can't we just have wholesome?
But you do have wholesome stuff.
I'm saying
Guns to country music, you want wholesome stuff.
They ain't got nice beats though. They ain't got the beats.
The thing is this, we live in a world.
Why can't the wholesome?
Remember I told you we look
beats?
for morality in a world where there is no morality. Human beings are overrated. We are low down, dirty shames. That's what we are. We are low. We are no bigger than the Pornhub sites that we surf on. We're no more special than that.
That's in my past,
so when I see Cardi B, I want to put that Big Mac truck right in this little garage, which I know she didn't write.
Yeah.
It doesn't faze me no more because I can do that, or I can go and listen to Kirk Franklin say, "GP, are you with me?" Oh yeah, but then they're suing him because he stole their money.
He didn't steal from GP, man.
Yeah, what? Didn't you hear the scandal?
Kirk stole from God's property.
I don't know, but remember that 50 Cent song, "How to Rob"? He said, "I gotta kick Kirk Franklin for robbing God's people." There was a whole lawsuit. But here's the
I thought
thing.
that was just a general point about.
Here's the thing. It probably wasn't a lawsuit. It's probably one of them ones where they were like, we sang on all the records. Where's our check?
Oh, this was a Kirk Franklin record. Oh, you thought this was God's property. Right. This is Kirk's property.
Right. And you're trying to bring, but wouldn't want God. Yo, this is a label thing.
Yeah.
They probably signed deals that they weren't
Maybe he was
accustomed to.
Diddying them.
He was.
Diddy.
He was. Because that's the music. You know why? Because someone's Diddying him.
Oh, bro.
You understand?
Wow.
Someone got to eat. By the way, I wrote the songs. I produced the song. Where were y'all before? Y'all weren't going on tour.
GP, are you with me?
Oh, yeah. Did you not notice there was no more albums with him?
Bro.
He went back to the family. You understand? Here's the thing. Ola, when I tell you, it's a dirty game.
It's a dirty game, y'all.
It's a dirty... Because listen, the reason why the good image is not good is because the same image that they will hang you with it.
Yes, but
Both images, by the way, they hang you with it.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think ideally what we want is a realistic image.
You want a real model, not a role model.
Okay.
So it's Eminem. That's Eminem. Let me not take credit for that.
All right.
I don't know. Was it Tupac? It was Tupac that said that. One of them two. So I don't want to be a role model. It's Tupac. I don't want to be a role model. I want to be a real model.
Okay.
Because I'm a role model, that means I'm playing a character.
Yeah.
And that's just not who I am.
But I just think in general we kind of glorify the
Maverick.
Not even the Maverick though, but like all the stuff that we generally don't want to see in our society. We glorify it when we see these people doing it, but then we're upset when it creeps into our society. So it's
what don't we want to see in our society?
You don't want to see your people getting shot, but we love to listen to a rapper talking about shooting people. You don't want to see your sister getting tossed around by the guys, but you like to listen to that track that you introduced me to.
The reason why he spoke about people getting shot is because people get shot.
I know this.
If people didn't get shot, they won't speak about it.
True.
So they're not the issue. They're just the reporters.
Kendrick Lamar talks about people getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the ones that talk about it, like, I will shoot you.
But
I'm going to shoot this guy. And this guy comes this way, I'm going to shoot him too.
There. Yeah, but that's entertainment.
So that's my point there.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that a man says, I'm going to shoot you, your people, your grandma.
Tupac said that.
We love that, right?
I don't know if we love it.
We love it.
I don't know if we love it. I just think it's out there.
We love it.
I don't listen to
it. Because think about, they would clown Will Smith for being too wholesome. Like,
that was when rap first started though. And Will Smith it wasn't like it was too wholesome. It was just, he was not a great lyricist compared to what was coming out.
Anyway, all I'm saying is, like, there's nothing wrong with just liking a bit of Summertime and a bit of getting jiggy with it and whatnot.
But there's also nothing wrong with there's also nothing wrong with liking, where my dog's at.
It depends. There's some. I wouldn't use where my dog's at because DMX had like a wide range.
Okay.
But there's definitely a lot that gets glorified and celebrated that really is. I can't find any redemptive quality in it.
But why do you have to though?
Because I'm talking about what's good for us to celebrate in our society.
But what is good? If you can tell me what good is.
Okay, bro.
We need to
go now.
We have to understand. You have to understand the reason why. It's because I do believe the lines between blurred and good and bad are blurred.
Yeah, bro. But
in the sense where, I thought going to church was good until I realized you can't buy a house that way.
So that means your ultimate good is buying a house. For me, that's not the issue. I think going to church is good. I think. But
I said you can't buy a house that way. And if you're trying to save money, well, not the church I was attending anyway.
Yeah, but
so you're saying I should find the right church?
Yes.
Okay, but they said they were good.
But I'm also saying that...
Is church good for Nigeria?
You're judging them in
Is church good for Nigeria?
How much they help you buy a house.
Is church good for Nigeria?
I'm saying the church.
What's good for Nigeria?
There are some good churches in Nigeria.
What's good for Nigeria?
There are a lot of bad churches in Nigeria.
What's good for Nigeria?
Bro, so many things would be good for Nigeria. Like...
There is no good in this life. You just get you get out what you put in.
All right.
There's no good.
On that note, we definitely need to wrap this up.
Everybody live your best life. Whether it's good or bad. If you want to twerk your nyash in the middle of Leicester Square, do what you do. As long as you get paid, do you, boo boo?
Yeah.
Let the Lord judge the criminals. Put that as part of court as well.
That's too much. I ain't about to do what is good and what is evil at this point.
Okay, we'll
This
do that
is
next
two and a
week.
half hours in. No, bro.
No, we're gonna do.
I'm
We're
not
gonna
free next
discuss
week.
good and bad.
I'm not free.
We're gonna discuss what's good and bad next week. What do you perceive to be a good society? And
All right,
what
where
you perceive to be a
the
bad one?
Funmbi at Funmbi on Twitter, at Funmbi on my title on Instagram, at Ola the Comedian on everything. That's on Neighborhood. This guy. All right,
It's true though.
that's on Crip.
That's on Crip. That's on what's good and bad.
Oh my goodness.
That's on. By the way, you're the one talking about what's good and bad, but you're on Crip now and you're on Neighborhood, huh?
Yes,
You know, real
Yes.
gives man. This one Neighborhood curse.
of course, of course.
real guy man's might pull out a whole card.
We all know why I'm saying it though,
Why are you
because
saying it,
when
Ola?
I say that's at Ola the
But is that
Comedian
good
on
for our
everything,
society?
it's funny because that's the kind of thing
But is
when
it
people
good
say
for our
when they're repping their
society, though?
set, they say
I
I put
heard
that
that,
on anything.
But that set gets killed sometimes. Is that good?
No, it's not good.
Okay, so we're gonna stop saying on Crip.
And we're gonna put that
I'm
on.
only gonna do good things, and that's on Moses.
Bye.